Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
Back in your life on this Monday, September 29, 2025. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. An impromptu hiatus, if you will. I was away. Yes, I was in La Belle Province. I was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, my hometown. I was there for Rosh Hashanah. If you're out there celebrating, Happy New Year. If you're going to be fasting on Thursday, Gmar Chatima Tova. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay, because none of you are sinners out there. You don't need to fast, but I need to atone for all of your sins. So I'll be doing that on Thursday. It was great to be home. I will talk to you about all of that, what I did over there. But first, I do want to say I missed you all very much. Our last show was some 10 or so days ago. Feels like it's been a month. I missed this place. I missed this desk. I missed my tchotchkes. Shout out to the Bills, 4-0. Shout out to the Blue Jays, AL East champs. Sorry, Jordan. Sorry, Pat. Them's the breaks. Shout out to the crew in the back, way over there, because they really did have to pick up the slack. Of course, boys in the back on a rare Monday alongside Ally Quinta in studio. How great was that? Tremendous stuff. 2 shows for the BITB. In fact, they did float the idea, since they had to double it up last week, of taking this Monday off.
Who the fuck is we?
But I can't confirm that they are in attendance on this Monday. I do know that we were shorthanded last week. Frank was actually solo because Andy was away. JK was sick. Boys in the back were here. Frank, you were all by your lonesome back there, huh?
It's tough.
Is this the new thing? You just speak in drops. You're officially Fred Norris.
This guy's a D1 Glazer, bro.
How was your weekend, Frank?
It was really good.
I was hoping you'd have one for me.
Wow.
Well, you did a great job back there. I mean, sure, I noticed a few hiccups, but like, you're literally cutting the show. You're acting as director, but also as the engineer, the audio producer, the A1, the AP, the PA. You did a great job.
And the hardest part, a good friend.
You missed.
So we couldn't have done it.
I thought you were going to say you missed the camaraderie.
Well,
you missed the friendship.
Yeah, there was definitely something missing, but I don't want to. Sal, Derek, Brad, they all did a great job.
They all pulled their weight. They stepped in. They filled the gaps, filled the holes very amicably. So shout out to everyone. What a team. What a unit we have here. And then, of course, we had the Look Back show on Wednesday, Classic Interviews. MMA Beat got a great reaction, and I'm very, very happy to see that. Some seem to think it's going to be a weekly thing, because I know the old MMA Beat was weekly. For now, no. But who knows? Who knows where we'll go with it? We will do more of it. And the reason why we're calling it The Beat, I was pushing for the Beat Reporters, but in the end we landed on The Beat, because we'll do a boxing version, the boxing beat, the wrestling beat, the bare knuckle beat, the BJJ beat, what else? What's the other? Kickboxing beat we could do. I mean, the world is literally our oyster, as my Israel Adesanya and Damian Lillard guy falls down. I mean, it's a bit of a lot of people move my stuff. I mean, let's not get into it. It's not really necessary to get into it right now, Frank. Anyway, great to be here. Thank you very much to everyone who stepped up. I missed you all. Thank you for all the queries. We are doing well, and we've got a great show, an amazing show. We always like to come back strong, and I'm delighted. I'm over the moon. I'm so happy to say that Ben Askren is going to be on the show today. Of course, over the summer, we were following the story. We were nervous. We were scared. We were heartbroken. And he's made an incredible recovery. He's doing well, seemingly. And this is going to be an opportunity to check in with him, find out what happened, find out how he's doing, where he goes from here, what life is like. All those questions and more shall be discussed and answered by the one and only Funky Ben. How great is that? Prior to that, we'll be joined by Diego Lopes. Is Diego Lopes the number one contender at 145? Is Diego Lopes' next fight going to be for the belt? It's all very much up in the air right now. I'm curious to see how this plays out, but we'll talk to him about the win over Jean Silva, main event, Noche UFC. That was 2 weekends ago. Always great to check in with him, one of the more popular fighters in the UFC right now, dare I say. And then at 2 o'clock, old friend of the show who's absolutely killing it on his channel, the one and only Demetrious Johnson will join us to talk about everything that he's been doing, including training with Merab Dvalishvili. Recently did a little training sesh with the reigning defending UFC bantamweight champion. We'll get his thoughts on rolling around with Merab. And of course, this is Merab Fight Week, UFC 320, going down this Saturday at T-Mobile. Incredible weekend coming up. You've got the UFC 320 event, Pereira Ankalaev, who I think have both done a tremendous job in selling this fight, this rematch. There seems to be a lot of heat, some drama, some run-ins. We'll get into that as well. Merab versus Corey Sandhagen is a really, really great, that's an amazing bantamweight title fight. Yuri versus Khalil, you know how we feel about that, and there's a bit of pressure on these guys now. We'll get into that as well, coming off the UFC Perth card this past weekend. Josh Emmett, Yusuf Zalal. Zalal is one of the great stories. We've talked to him a couple of times on the show. That's a big-time fight for him. And one of GC's favorites, Abus Magomedov against Joe Pife. Joey Pife.
It's actually the GC Bowl you declared.
Yes, that's right.
Two of my favorites, Abus Magomedov and Joe Pfeiffer.
Yes. No, that's Joe Pife.
Listen, man, Jordan feels bad enough back here, and now you're just...
we kept really, it up there. Usually when there's a typo, you get rid of it real quick. We just left it hanging.
Yeah, it was a bit. He told me that's what he likes to be called.
Okay. That's fucking bullshit. Anyway, it's a great card. But not only that, earlier in the day, you're getting the bare knuckle card on DAZN pay-per-view, and that's the one headlined by Mike Perry versus Jeremy Stevens. So, that's back-to-back. They're not going to go head-to-head, by the way. They're hoping to end that card by the time the UFC 320 pay-per-view starts. So there will be a little bit of a back-to-back, but the 320 prelims not as great as the main card, so not the worst thing, although do you want to buy 2 pay-per-views? Anyway, that's up to you. Day before, you've got the PFL event in the UAE, in Dubai to be exact, and that's a great one. That's the rematch between Usman Nurmagomedov and Paul Hughes. So a really, really great weekend coming up. Lots to get into, lots to discuss, lots to dissect, lots to talk about. But let us start with perhaps the most recent news. Woke up this morning, got the official announcement of perhaps you know what, before we get into that, let me just say, really enjoyed the week. I knew I had forgotten something. Let me just say, really enjoyed my time in Montreal. I got to work the MVP Prospects show, number 15 in Montreal at the famed Théâtre Saint-Denis, which was built in 1915. Guys, would you believe back in 1924, the great Jack Johnson fought in that venue. He defeated Homer Smith. They had a bunch of boxing fights in this theater. They hadn't had one since 1961, but it was, I posted a picture of the ring. The ring was quite small. It was on a stage, but not a very big stage, and it was just theater seating. There was nothing behind it, and I was wondering how it would look, what it would feel like, and in the end, it was a great crowd, about 18 or so hundred people. Wasn't the biggest venue of all time, but they got there early. There were a lot of local fighters. Main event had a local feel to it. Kim Clavel, who's a very popular fighter in Montreal and the Quebec area. Tam Thibault fighting in the co-main event, winning in 54 seconds. I keep saying it. I kept joking with Ade on our now deceased program, the Ariel and Ade show. I get a lot of questions about the state of that show. The show is gone. It is no more. And yes, these things happen in the world of combat sports. Anyway, she's going to be a superstar. She's now 4-0. She wins in 54 seconds. Her opponent's corner throws in the towel. A fight with Clarissa Shields. I know it's not happening tomorrow, but that might be the biggest one of them all for Clarissa. She still's got work to do. I'm not getting crazy. She's only been a pro for a year, but she's a big girl who hits really hard, has a great back story, Olympian, 2-time Olympian, all that stuff and more. Anyway, I enjoyed it. It was great to be at an event. It was great to be at an event in Montreal. It was great to flex some of my French. Did you guys hear some of the French? Did you see
all of the French?
I was flexing out there. A few, errors, grammatical, a few stumbles, but I wanted to show, the locals that I'm one of them. Je peux parler en français si je veux. Tu comprends? Je peux parler en français. And I wanted the fighters to feel comfortable, and it was a fun opportunity. I really, really enjoyed it. So the Montreal fight scene alive and well, the boxing scene alive and well, and I appreciate the opportunity. I enjoyed it very much. Speaking of boxing, the news of the day is that the worst kept secret in boxing, in combat sports, in sports media became official, and that's that Zuffa Boxing is headed to Paramount Plus. This had first been reported by Ryan Glassspiegel of Front Office Sports right after the UFC Paramount deal was announced. And today we got the official announcement. 12 shows in 2026. In terms of like the money was not announced. They didn't officially announce the years, but Front Office Sports did announce that it's a 5-year deal. So not bad. Not as long as the UFC deal, but close. 7-5. This is for the US, Canada, and Latin America. No word on the UK. Got some questions about the UK. 12 shows, but they still have the ability for the mega shows to be on other platforms. So like this doesn't preclude them. If they get a mega show and they continue to talk about the 12 shows, contender series, building people up, 50-50 fights, but this wouldn't be like a Terrence Crawford type of event. Those could still go on Netflix. So it's a nice little deal for them. I actually think it's really good for American boxing. I don't think it's good that every promotion is on one platform, DAZN. I don't think that's good. We like DAZN, it's great, but like you can't have 8 different promotions on there because it gets a little bit lost in the shuffle. So here's Paramount getting into boxing as well as MMA, of course. And let's see what the shows are. Dana White did an interview with Brian Campbell of CBS Sports. Didn't give up too much information regarding how many fighters. He's talked about, 450. I don't know how you can have that many with just 12 shows. I doubt that will be the final number. Talked about, the weight classes. Did say he's gonna have female fighters on his cards, but the details are very, very, very limited right now. Said it will start in January. Obviously, UFC deal starts in January as well. In that interview, though, there were 2 really interesting sections, I thought. The first one being, he was asked about the Ali Act, and he said, we're not changing a word of the Ali Act. We're just making it better. All right. And then he did say that, like, you could either choose, if you're a fighter, you could choose to fight under the Ali Act, or you could choose to fight with us under our version. And I'm not quite sure, I'm not a politician, anyone who deals with legislation and things like that, but like I'm not quite sure it works like that. I don't think you can pick and choose under what rules you fight under. And I'm not talking about like rules in terms of like 3-minute rounds. I'm talking about like, government legislation. That's what the Ali Act is. So let's see how this all plays out. I think that the TKO folks are very smart, very savvy, very powerful, and they have very smart, savvy, powerful people in government. I think they will get whatever they want. What that means, they continue to say, we're making it better, we're adding to it, it's going to be better for the fighters. That remains to be seen. You've even seen, people who aren't necessarily Zuffa friends, Nikisa Badarian, one name that comes to mind, who has said like he doesn't necessarily think this is a bad thing. Now, does he have his own ideas as to what this could do for him and his company, MVP? Who knows? But I thought that it was just a really interesting way of framing it. You could choose to fight under the old Ali Act or the new. I don't know if that's accurate, if I'm being honest. The other interesting thing was he was asked about working with others, working with other promotions and promoters. He brought up Eddie Hearn. He brought up some of the others. Didn't say them by name, but did mention Eddie Hearn. Well, I think Brian mentioned Hearn first. Point is, he said, these guys, these other promotions, they don't think big. And then he did the thing that Eddie does, which is, I like Eddie Hearn, but I saw all of a sudden he switched up. He became Oscar De La Hoya. And, I know he was doing it for attention and stuff like that. And it keeps feeling like we're inching closer and closer to something. There's always a preface. There's always, I like, but, and then, we get into the whatever. The backhanded compliment or the little dig. So I think that's definitely a story to watch. But ultimately, This, I think, is very good for them. I think it's good for boxing in the United States. I mean, if you look at Top Rank still doesn't have a deal. Golden Boy has their DAZN deal. MVP has their deal with DAZN and the big events on Netflix. Let's see what happens to them in 2026. They obviously have the women's league that they're building as well with all the women's fighters. There needs to be other places. ESPN is out of the business. There continues to be talk of maybe WBD, maybe TNT, maybe HBO Max, but other places showing combat sports, and in this case, boxing, I think is good. I think it's good for business, good for the sport. So finally, after all these years, 2017, talking about Zuffa boxing, here we are, end of 2025. It is real, and we'll see what it translates into. Dana did do an interview with 60 Minutes recently, and the story aired last night. At the beginning of the story, I want to talk about this real quickly. At the beginning of the piece, so you guys have seen 60 Minutes, I'm assuming in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it's one of the longest running news magazine shows in American broadcasting history. It's well respected. It usually starts off like this. Tonight on 6, that was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's class.
Tonight on 60 Minutes. And then it's like, And then it goes, I'm Leslie Stahl. I'm Mike Wallace. Those stories plus Andy Rooney tonight on 60 Minutes.
You know we're on air, right?
Yeah. I always used to love the Andy Rooney bits where he's like, you ever notice when you're in a bookstore? And he's just an absolute legend. Anyway, they did a story. This was John Wertheim. John Wertheim was the correspondent who I have tremendous respect for, longtime Sports Illustrated writer, also a tennis pundit as well. He's the sports guy. He did the story. And at the very beginning, when they're sitting on the chair and it's the black room and they've got the little magazine book open thing, and it's a very nice, it's iconic. He says that they had been working on this story for quite some time. I know that to be true. So this wasn't necessarily like, hey, we just signed the UFC to this big deal. Paramount owns CBS, Skydance, all this thing. Like, let's do a story on Dana White. No, it is true that they had been looking at him and considering doing a feature on him long before all of this. That is true. Now, it does air, and the interview was conducted post Paramount deal. So their intentions prior and their intentions afterwards could very well have changed. 13 or so minute piece, that's kind of how long these pieces are. And I've seen some people call it fluff. I've seen some people call it, just a puff piece, whatever you want to call it, softballs. Look, that piece is not for you or the other person watching or me or, someone watching this show. That piece wasn't for you. That piece was for the 65-year-old, 56-year-old mom, dad, grandmother, grandfather, casual sports fan, news watcher who's watching 60 Minutes after football, who watches it every week regardless of what the story is, who just likes to learn about people. This is a guy who's interesting. This is a guy who marches to the beat of his own drum. This is a guy who's very good friends with the president of the United States. This is the guy who runs his sports league, different than all the other sports where anything could be said and you wear ripped jeans and you drop F-bombs. Like it wasn't really for us. And so I wasn't expecting much. And overall, I could see a 56-year-old guy watch that be like, you know what? I like this guy. This guy's talking about the wussification of America. I like this guy. This guy's talking about toxic masculinity not really being a thing. I like this guy. I like the way he conducts himself. I like what he believes in. And, it's a bit of the Trump backstory. And he says, Biden would be invited or Obama would be invited, and Obama congratulated him on his success at the inauguration. Like, it was just all there. Did they go deep into controversies? No. Did they go deep into transgressions? No. Did I expect that? No. Did ask about fighter pay. And Dana did the thing like, can I sit here right now and tell you it's going to go up ×2 because our rights deal went up ×2? No. Again, the rights deal came out now. It's been at least a month and a half. I would like to think he has some sort of idea. And I know for a fact that some of the champions, because they're starting to build these cards, like January is approaching, that they've made some amendments to the deal, especially when it comes to champions who get pay-per-view points. So he does know. He does know. He's playing coy, and that's fine. He doesn't have to tell us right now, and he may never tell us. It'll be up to the fighters to tell us or their managers to tell us. You know, and it's the classic scenes of him gambling and being down $700K and being down 1.2 million and then getting it up. And I see people saying, you know, how could you do that while you're, you know, not paying your fighters enough? But that's his personal money. Like, he could do it. Like, Dana White doesn't pay fighters out of his Dana White bank account. So ultimately, that's a larger, at this point, TKO discussion. But there were two things that I thought were really interesting and, you know, just kind of speaks to the walking contradiction that he is, and some might say hypocrite. I might be one of those people. He loves to talk about freedom of speech, and he'll say freedom of speech is very important here. And then he'll say the most important type of speech to protect is hate speech. Now, why is that? Why is hate speech the most important? That I don't quite understand. Why is it more important to protect hate speech than just speech in general, all kinds of speech? And then the obvious follow-up, which I wish was asked in the piece, if I'm being honest, maybe it was and it was cut out, is if freedom of speech is so important and freedom of hate speech is so important, then why isn't freedom of press important as well? Because as we know, and let's not even talk about myself, long before I came on the scene, there were issues between, you know, Dana White and the press. And of course, my situation is probably the most notable one. But why don't you feel the same way about the press? If you feel so strongly about freedom of speech and freedom of hate speech, surely you should feel strongly about freedom of press, especially when the press isn't even being critical in any way, shape, or form. You just want a certain type of press. That to me is a contradiction. If you're about the Constitution, if you're about amendments, and if you're about doing things the right way, the American way, why does freedom of press not get that same type of respect? Also, he says, you know, I don't believe in destroying people's lives. I don't believe in destroying people's lives if they make a singular mistake. I mean, I sit here today, he has tried actively to destroy my life because what? I reported some news, some fight news. Again, Dana White didn't dislike me because I was critical of the UFC. They didn't like me because I was reporting, you know, fight announcements. I was reporting this before they were ready to get it out, or that I would ask fighters about Bellator or free agency. So if you don't know these things, I can understand why you would sit there and be like, you know what? I like this guy. I like his vibe. But if you know and you lived it and you've watched him and you've covered him, you know that this whole thing now, the like, you know, freedom of this, freedom of that, freedom of this, freedom of that, is a little hypocritical. Did anyone else see the piece back there?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think, Rick?
I think that the mission to have a real discourse about Dana White, the UFC, ventures into boxing, is not going to be best served by a company that is producing content that is on the network that he has partnered with. Like, that's just the reality of it. It is not this was not going to be incisive. This was not going to be exploratory in a major way. There were questions that still needed to be asked, and it should be transparently, like, I didn't expect that going in, right? Like, I did not expect that this would be that. And so I'm ultimately not like let down or disappointed or anything like that, because my expectations of this were that it would ultimately kind of be what the end product ended up being. But if anybody had expectations beyond that this was going to be some kind of massive revelation and you know, Dana White bears all conversation, I feel it would have been a little bit misguided, because that was not where I landed ultimately.
PT, what do you think?
I thought it kind of presented him exactly the way he'd want to be presented. And I could see, as you said, I could see a lot of people watching it and going, Jesus, this guy's a really cool dude. You know, this is the kind of guy. This is the kind of guy I want to be on his team. I also saw that 60 Minutes posted a piece, that the first piece they did about the UFC, I believe it was 2006, 2007. And I know we say it all the time on this show, and people often forget we do, but it is crazy seeing how far this company has come. I believe on the first segment with 60 Minutes, he was asked, you know, you bought this company for $2 million with the Fertittas. How much is it worth now? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And they're like, 100 million. And he's like, maybe. And wow. To see like the TV deals are selling for 7.7 billion now. His status as a guy who's to the right hand of the president of the United States, it's pretty astronomical what they've done. But all in all, I agree with you and Rick. I think this is exactly how he would have want to be presented. And I wonder how different it is based on your note at the start of the show and their note at the top of the segment about how long they're pursuing this. I wonder how different it might have been had this deal not been in place.
GC, you see it?
Oh yeah, I saw it because my dad texted me about it.
There it is.
My dad was watching it. That's the power of CBS right there. To me, it as someone that sees all the press conferences, that sees pretty much any interviews that he does, it was nothing new for like a diehard fan of the sport. It was the same questions. Do you think the fighters are paid fairly? Tell us about the White House card. Tell us about this deal. It felt like things that he's been asked in some way, shape, or form in different settings before this.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't for us. I think very calculated, like that little moment at the beginning, like ask me whatever you want. You know, like these things are they're very calculated.
Is fighter pay gonna double? It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good.
You want. Answers TBD. Can I ask you something, GC?
Yes.
What? No, GC.
Oh, GC.
Did your dad have thoughts on it? Because his opinion is the one I'd actually want the most.
You know, I probably should have
close to it.
I probably should have followed up. I just said thanks, watching now.
Check
and
in
we,
and we'll come back later.
We never had any follow-up.
Let's call him up right now.
There we go. Dad, you're live on the air.
I'm curious what the person sitting at home who's familiar with UFC, familiar with Dana White, but not really like engrossed in it in the way that we are felt, right? Pizzi said it perfectly. Like, do you come away thinking like this guy's a rock star? I'll follow whatever he's doing. Or
I would bet you do.
I'm curious.
The one word that comes to mind: loyal. You're a bully? Yeah, I could live with that because I want to win. Like, if you know nothing about this guy, what was that, PT?
He seemed quite happy. He was happy.
Yeah.
As happy with the loyalty line as he was with the bully line. He's like, yes, correct. That is also what
you know nothing about him. You walk away from that being like, this guy is and again, the same story that we've heard for 15 or so years, the antithesis of Roger Goodell, the antithesis of Adam Silver or Gary Bettman or even like your typical sports owner. You know, he
even said in the piece, he was like, the deal that I have would make Roger Goodell or Adam Silver jealous. Also, not for nothing, them following him into the casino, and like when they show up, they got the whiskey and the cigars ready to go, and then he goes down 1.2 mil, and then he ends up 700K, and he walks away with bands of cash. Yeah, it's hard to not think someone is cool when they're able to do that.
Ultimately, you can ask yourself, like, hey, now that you're in business, maybe 60 Minutes shouldn't do this story. But the flip side of that is, no, now you're in business. Now you want to be in the business of telling the Dana White story, right? Now it actually makes a lot more sense. Sort of like the type of quote-unquote journalism that ESPN wanted to do when they were in business with ESPN. And that's just the way like society is. This is nothing new. When a sports entity signs up to this type of deal with an outlet, with a broadcasting giant, it is now in their best interest to shine a light and to shine a positive light. This is not a unique UFC phenomenon. They are now interested in promoting the UFC. There's commercials during events. You see it during football now, and so it was there was no part of me that was disappointed. There was no part of me that was like, damn, I wish they would have asked this or that. It's just when you sit there and hear him talk, the freedom of hate speech is just such a funny thing. Like, why is it more important to protect freedom of hate speech? Why is this such a big deal to you? And then, of course, then you start thinking like, well, it was once not important. You actually let people go. And we could talk about this ad nauseum. But anyway, a good piece of press.
Can I ask you one more thing?
Yeah.
This one is for you, Ariel. Does it make you change how you view 60 Minutes? Because you now have seen a piece, you know how the sausage is made a little bit more. Is 60 Minutes different in your eyes?
No, because 60 Minutes isn't doing stories on the regular about things that they're in business with, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's say next week they're doing a story on the NFL and it's a very rosy story. Like, no, maybe they shouldn't be doing stories on things that they're in business with. But then, of course, you go a step further, and then there's the Skydance thing, and then there's the Trump thing, and there's the Colbert thing, and you know what I mean? And so I guess we have to find out what is CBS News in the year 2025 and 2026, right? In this new era, this new Skydance era. But 60 Minutes is still 60 Minutes, at least for now. And so once stories start to come out of, oh, we couldn't talk about this or we had to edit that, then the opinion will change. But I think it's maybe a little bit too soon. But again, and this is probably a discussion for a different day, but all of this is fascinating to me. Like the Jimmy Kimmel thing is fascinating to me. And this is all freedom of speech, right? So if Jimmy Kimmel... Oh gosh, we're going down a whole freaking thing.
We don't have to.
I don't want to get into it.
We don't have to.
But I just want to understand one quick thing.
Yes, please.
If Jimmy Kimmel said something that was offensive, right? Because that's ultimately what he's being accused of. Is that considered hate speech?
But
and just wanted to understand. And if it is considered hate speech, isn't that the most important thing to protect?
As it relates to this conversation, it seems like Dana White did disagree with that and said it should be protected. That's my only thing for that. Dana White said that. So,
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, he did say it. Fair play to him. He said, I don't want people to be canceled on both sides.
Correct.
So he does disagree with this. So all of this is fascinating. Yes.
That's only as it relates to this conversation.
Actually,
I think there's other ways to
I agreed with him on that. I hate cancel culture. Obviously, I do believe that there should be, forget about cancel culture as a word. I do believe that there should be repercussions for stupid actions. If you say something stupid, or if you do something stupid, or if you do something criminal, or if you do something, whatever. But people losing their job off of tweets and things like that.
He's effectively canceled you, though. Like, he's effectively canceled you.
Well, he tried to. I mean, it's still here, PCGs.
I know, but like he tried to
100%. Oh, he didn't just, I mean, he actively tries. Till this day.
Yeah.
There's things that people don't know about, you know? Till this day. But that's why I think I laugh when I hear him say, and by the way, just to be very clear, because I can almost see it now. Oh, here's Ariel, labeling himself as a victim. I'm not a victim. Life is great. As I said to you 2 weeks ago, I am totally fine with how things played out. I was actually talking to a very good friend of mine who you all know this morning about this. Like, he doesn't realize how life has played out and how he's helped me every step of the way indirectly. But yes, he has tried. I'm not a victim at all. But when you hear him say, I don't like people having their lives ruined for a mistake, I'm like, well, you actively try to ruin people's lives for things that you perceive to be wrong or a mistake. So GC's dad doesn't know any of this. So I can almost guarantee you ask him after, he says, yeah, I mean, interesting guy. Like the way he maneuvers, or, it's what a story, something like that. Anyway, let's talk about this past weekend, some things to discuss. When I was going through UFC 320, I said the spotlight and the pressure is now on Prochazka versus Roundtree. Why did I say that? Because Carlos Elberg went out there and knocked out Dominic Reyes in very impressive fashion, a beautiful 1-2. The guy is on an absolute tear right now. He's marketable, he's fun, he's a finisher, he's got the look, he's got everything. I believe that if Prochazka Roundtree ends up being essentially what Roundtree Hill was, let's just say, even if it's a dominant 3-0 win for Roundtree, and there's a couple of moments there, but nothing spectacular. I think Elberg is next. Now, Brendan Fitzgerald, when he made the call, he said, what did he say? He said, title shot next. I don't know if that's a done deal, but I do believe, like, if this was tennis, like, Elberg held serve, he's now the guy, and it's up to them to do something better. Does anyone think otherwise? In other words, does anyone think there is no discussion to be had? He is the guy, and what Fitzgerald said was accurate.
No, I think there is still part of this to be unveiled, for sure. Like, there could be a better performance. There could be one reason or another. We have there are no clear number one contenders anymore, and that has been proven over and over and over again in the UFC, right? Like, every time we say this person surely had to get a title shot off the strength of that, I don't think it ever happens, right? Like, we have been sitting here talking about this forever. Lerone, like, there's a Movsar, Lerone, just in that division alone. Shavkat has to be next, but it's Sean Brady, but it's Ian Machado Gary. There's every time somebody fights, there's a new number one contender. I don't think that there's a guarantee there, but he has put himself in an incredible position.
PT, you want to say something?
No, I'm all good. I agree. I think it's a what have you done for me lately sport. And
Yeah.
as great as Ulberg was, these guys are fighting after him. They have a great opportunity with the title fight being at the top of this card to make a big impression. And I also think, and I don't think you can put this squarely on Ulberg, but all the reports of like, oh, this event isn't selling well, stuff like that. He's the headline guy. I don't know if that played against him. I think he did everything that he could have possibly done in the main event. That was as good as it could have went. But there's a lot of different things at play here.
That's what I was going to say, Pete. Is the star factor does play into it. The fact that Yuri Prochazka is a fan favorite. He is a big name. He's been a champion before in his career. If he goes out, puts on an incredible performance, finishes Roundtree, and it is Ankalaev that retains the belt, he could certainly be next in line.
I do think there's a couple of scenarios at play. For example, if Ankalaev wins, obviously they're not going to do it a third time with Pereira, and now everyone's at play, right? Prochazka, Ankalaev, Roundtree, Ankalaev, Ulberg, Ankalaev are all fresh matchups. If Pereira wins, I doubt they're going to run it back with Ankalaev, but Pereira has wins over Roundtree, tremendous fight, one of my favorite fights of 2024, and has 2 wins over Prochazka. I think it might be tough to give Prochazka the third crack. Roundtree, I could see them giving him another crack, especially if it's a great win. And then, of course, Ulberg is the fresh opponent. So I think you almost have to wait and see what happens in the main event as well. Like even once Prochazka Roundtree fight, we'll still have to wait until the end of the night to really have a good sense. I think that they would like to give Ulberg a crack. Like I would put him in pole position right now. Certainly if Pereira wins. If Ankalaev wins, everything changes. But I think he's in a great spot. I really do think he's in a great spot. I don't put the ticket sales thing on him. I mean, he's not, someone that they've really pushed in this spot. He's won 9 in a row, and he's had some big cards that he's fought on. He's fought here in New York, Madison Square Garden, but he's not exactly a household name just yet. Also, he's from New Zealand. He's fighting in Australia, but the rest of the card wasn't good at all. I don't really think it's necessarily on him. But he did what he had to do. He really did. His post-fight interview, he's not a big talker as well. He doesn't really puff his chest out and promote himself, but I thought he did everything that he had to do. And I love the fact that he put the pressure on Prochazka and Roundtree. And it sounds like he's coming to Las Vegas, which I think is a very smart move on his part. I'm really curious to see how this plays out. Do you guys agree? Pereira and Ankalaev, with those videos that have emerged, the run-ins and the trash, I think they've done...
Google Translate trash talk?
Yeah, I think they've done a really good job of selling this.
I agree. I feel like it
feels big and important.
It was DOA for a long time, and now it is really like there's new life in it. Now, don't get me wrong, like this is not like the most thrilling version of promotion that I've ever seen, but it's doing a hell of a lot more than the first time. It's doing a hell of a lot more than the intermediary period where this rematch was announced and everybody was just kind of like, okay, so it has helped in leaps and bounds to me because we're at least seeing a little bit of Magomed, outside of what we see on Twitter, which I still maintain is not him, despite what he has himself tweeted. And we see a little bit of Alex. Like Alex seems to be more fired up for this than any of his other recent kind of opponents.
I feel a little spark in him, right?
Yes, and so it's doing something. It's definitely working for me a little bit.
Them having to go through the phone and waiting by is tough for me. It's not doing a bunch for me.
I think it was actually kind of cute in a weird way. I don't know. I found
It's funny, like Ali. Obviously, we think he's been handling these tweets for so long. Ankalaev gets ChatGPT and through the roof his numbers all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Just let me break this down. Do a bit of Google Translate, ChatGPT, and suddenly everyone's like, he is selling the shit out of this thing. So fair play, Mohammed Big Ank.
Oh yeah, fair play for
18.6K views.
Yeah, I will turn off his electricity this week. I like that.
You know yourself.
Listen, those top 3 fights and Merab and Sanhagen have an appeal. I'm excited for 320.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
You got a Poatan fight, you got Merab Corey, and you got a Yuri fight. Like, what more can you want?
And Magomedov or against
Avis Magomedov versus Joe Pfeiffer. Yeah,
it's fucking
and
great.
Josh.
Shout out Pife.
Yeah. Josh Emmett, Yusuf Salal. All right, so that's the main event of UFC Perth and how it ties into this weekend's main event. And again, there were some nice performances. It just felt like the card was a little underwhelming. Jimmy Crute with a rear naked choke win in the first round. Jimmy Crute with tremendous hair. Really great haircut. And it seems like he's been in the UFC for like 15 years now. We've seen him since he was a young cub in the biz. Jake Jenkins with a solid unanimous decision win. Could we talk about Neil Magny versus Jake Matthews? And ultimately, what is the take here? Because it did seem as though Jake Matthews was about to win via submission in the first round, right? That's what it seemed like. And then the referee, whose name was, wait for it, Jim Perdios, seemed to stop it because right there when Magny's arm went up, I guess he thought that it went limp, but then he seemed to imply that he stopped it because the round was over, but there was still clearly like 3 or 4 seconds left before he stopped it, and then they have to, restart the fight, and then eventually Neil Magny wins the fight via submission in the third round, a beautiful Darce choke. But afterwards, Jake Matthews says, you think you won the fight, your energy goes down, your mindset changes, and they're looking into some sort of investigation whether or not they can overturn the result. PT, did you see this?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the referee did stop the fight.
I think he thought he was out.
Yeah.
Right?
I think different to a situation. We were in London when Michael Bisping fought Anderson Silva.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a hit on the bell. And this is very different to that as far as I'm concerned. There was mass confusion. Anderson Silva ran off celebrating because it was on the bell. I think Herb Dean's situation there was he hadn't touched the other guy. It was far more open, to be like, is this fight continuing? Is it over? I think the referee had more legs to stand on here, but this referee did stop the fight as far as I'm concerned. I understand where Matthew was coming from, like the adrenaline dump of the relief.
Yes.
Just being like, oh my God, I did it. And then you're like, oh no, you're fighting again. I saw the clip of him saying, like, at the start of the second round, I was like, I can't fucking believe we're still doing this.
Right.
And I feel for him. Fair play to Magny. Very Neil Magny performance,
right,
you'd have to say. And a beautiful technique to get the finish in the third. But Jake Matthews, absolutely every reason to feel hard done by. I think it's an error on the referee's part.
I hate to disagree with you two, because, as you know, I love to take the same side as you guys. But Ariel, you saying it seems like, and PT, you saying I think. There is no seems, there is no think. It's on wax. It's on tape. That fight was stopped. Jake Matthews won that fight. There is no debate. There's no conversation about this for me. And Jake Matthews submitted Neil Magny, and the referee stopped that fight. There's nothing to even discuss, in my opinion. Like, the fight continuing is just a dereliction of duty by the commission and by the referee himself and whoever else is involved. And Neil Magny, shout out to him. I mean, what a gamer to actually go through that fight and then in the third round pull that off. But that fight was over with 2 or whatever seconds to go in the first round. There's no conversation about this for me.
I think it was a double error. Him stopping the fight. Obviously, Neil Magny was saying that he wasn't out, and then them continuing the fight. He stopped the fight. It should have been over there. He's using the time as a bailout, but you see him dive in with 2 seconds left on the clock. It's not like he heard the horn. And the fact that he's tells Jake Matthews to get off, and then he's standing over Neil Magny as if he is a referee checking in on a fighter that just got finished to make sure that he's okay. The excuse becomes null and void. Like, look at this picture right here. Like, you're telling me Jake Matthews lost this fight? Like, this looks like he just finished him. This is insane. Just massive errors.
If this becomes a no contest, it will be criminal. It will be an absolute shame. Jake Matthews by submission is the proper ruling for this fight. There's no alternative.
Yeah, other than
I feel
Matthews
very strongly
winning later in the fight and being like, oh man, he dodged a bullet. The ref was fucked on this one because to your point, GC, like you can't be like, oh yeah, I just stopped it a little bit early there. I meant to say that I thought the round was over, so that's why I was stopping. Like, no, you stopped and you fucked up. But if you fuck up, you fuck up. Now, these would be the perfect times to hear from the referees, some sort of explanation from them, but you get nothing.
We'll hear nothing.
Yeah.
Do we need to get these guys earpieces, IFBs, with the round horn? Like, what was it a couple weeks ago where they missed it by 4 or 5 seconds?
But that was like because it was super loud.
That's what I'm saying. Get him an IFB.
He 100% thought that when he put his arm up, he 100% thought that Magny was
out. The horn is not the problem here because he stopped the fight before the horn. It wouldn't have mattered if he heard it perfectly or didn't hear it at all. He stopped that fight because he picked up Neil Magny's arm and thought that he went limp and called it a submission and ended the fight. The problem here is that by allowing it to continue, now you've built up this sympathy for Neil Magny, right? It would feel bad to take a win away from Neil Magny at this point because of what he was able to accomplish, because of who he is. And it's unfortunate, but that is all due to the initial error.
No, I'm saying it's not fair to Jake.
It's not fair to Jake.
It's not fair to both guys.
But that's the unfortunate scenario is, right? We don't want either of these guys to lose. We want Neil Magny's third round submission to be incredible. We want to celebrate that moment. But it only happens because the referee decided to restart a fight with 2 seconds left after the end of the first round, left in the first round rather, and that is not in the rule book. That is not something you can do. It just doesn't exist. He messed this up and now created a scenario where we're going to be taking something away from Neil Magny, which we shouldn't have even been in the first place. Go to the tape. It's over, and Jake Matthews wins by submission. It's the easiest call in history.
If Jake Matthews is on the show win model, I hope they give him the win.
I hope they pay Magny a hell of a lot too.
And I hope they give Magny, because Magny did nothing wrong. I mean, he did not tap, he did not go out, and then he ended up getting a beautiful sub. But yeah, that was just a critical error. And this is what happens. We've been talking about this since, day one. When you go into these smaller areas that don't have shows every single week, and the local guy gets an opportunity to fight on the big stage, they end up making a lot of mistakes. And by the way, it's not just the local guy. A lot of the regulars make mistakes too. It's a very tough sport to officiate. I get that. But this just was a huge mistake. And probably, I don't know, the most fair thing to do is to just run it back. I don't know. Is that something
you think
there
will be
do?
any
Overturn
here or anything?
Overturn it and give Jake his win. That's the only fair outcome.
But do you think that's possible? Because we see these.
I usually don't like to do that, because then it's like egg on the face of the ref.
I know that, but
there's
video. Like, we're acting like this is like some kind of subjective. You can watch the video and see the fight end. I saw it clear as day. The referee tells him to stop. It's not just like it was like, oh, did he touch him? Was there a glance? Did he almost tell him to? He literally stopped the fight as clear as day. It's the most obvious thing.
In such a mental sport, obviously Jake Matthews' mentality after that is messed up, because he thought he won the fight. Now he's having to go back out there. There's no telling how the fight would have gone had he not stopped it and the round had just ended. There's no telling how that fight proceeds. I don't think it proceeds the exact same way.
I'm okay if they give Jake a win and still run it back, right? If you're Jake Matthews and you go, I want to do it better this time, I want to show you, and you're Neil Magny and you're like, hey, I've seen it, let's do it, I'm okay with that too. But on the records, this has to be a win for Jake Matthews. No debate.
Tom Nolan via rear naked choke. Navajo Sterling, unanimous decision. Cam Rouston with a solid first round win as well. Jamie Malarkey, unanimous decision. Colby Thickness, unanimous decision. Michelle Montague, a good friend of one Kayla Harrison, moving up to 7-0 now. Brando Pericic with the first round win early in the card. And Alexia Tainara with the curtain jerker victory as well. So, overall, some performances. A lot of Aussies won. Shout out to them. And the UFC turns its attention to UFC 320. By the end of the night, though, on Saturday, everyone was talking about Wanderlei Silva. So Wanderlei Silva, the axe murderer, was a part of an event called Spaten Fight Night 2. You may recall Spaten Fight Night 1 showcased Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen in a very clearly worked boxing match. And so Anderson Silva this time around was fighting a former boxer turned Brazilian politician named Acelino Freitas in a boxing match. It was on a very large television network over in Brazil and Latin America, and it turned into an absolute mess. A brawl broke out after a headbutt, and this is the aftermath of it. After there was a brawl in the ring, we can't show you all of it, but that's Wanderlei Silva getting knocked out cold in the midst of the brawl, and then getting dragged. His carcass being dragged to the corner in a very, very scary scene. This is Wanderlei Silva, who, by the way, probably shouldn't have been fighting, period, who was a part of the class action lawsuit and gave testimony saying that, he's dealing with all kinds of brain issues. And he posted a video on Sunday reacting to all of this, and he looks absolutely awful. I have a lot of headaches. I will take tests here in Curitiba to determine, identify what if I have any serious head injury or not. Look at his eye. This was the damage caused yesterday. Look there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Head bouncing on the canvas. It's great to be able to count on friends in times like these. Legend, axe murderer, Vanderlei Silva looking like that after this brawl. The great Guilherme Cruz, the Brazilian beast, our good friend over at MMA Fighting, had a good thread about this. Crazy roller coaster over the last 36 hours or so. Vanderlei Silva and Acelino Freitas box live on Latin America's largest TV network, and all hell breaks loose. Combat sports go viral in Brazil like never before as both teams brawl inside the ring. Spartan Fight Night is a black tie event promoted by Spartan, a company part of the world's largest beer manufacturer group, Ambev. Several statements and videos posted by both camps since showing different angles of the brawl and pointing fingers at each other. 49-year-old Silva suffered a broken nose, 7 stitches around his eye after being KO'd by Freitas' son, Rafael. In his words, Vanderlei's words, quote, a cowardly assault, end quote. Silva has made concerning comments recently in the past. He might sue Rafael for borderline attempted murderer, Acelino for allegedly inciting as well. Rafael Freitas deleted his IG on Sunday and later apologized to Silva. He claimed legitimate defense. Fabricio Verdum claims, who's friends with Vanderlei and was a part of his team, claims Acelino premeditated the attacks. An audio message of the boxer allegedly saying, when one gets beat, everyone gets beat. Freitas will undergo surgery Monday for a broken hand. He says the audio messages were manipulated to make him look bad. Freitas criticized Silva's coach, Andre Dida, legendary Andre Dida, for hitting him with 2 left hands during the brawl, saying his brother, Luis Claudio, saved him from the worst. And also, interestingly, Guilherme writes, Spartan 2 happened 28 years to the date of Pentagon combat when a riot led to the ban of Vale Tudo in Rio. Vale Tudo was the name of essentially of MMA back then. In Brazil. I don't expect something similar to happen in 2025, but wonder what changes it brings to the fight businesses with brands like Spartan and Global involved, Global being the network. So not a great look, not a great scene, a scary scene. And at first I was like, is this real? Is this not? If only because I remembered the Chael Sonnen Anderson Silva fight, which was very much not a real fight. I was like, are they just creating a moment here? But then when you see the punch, you see the slow-mo, you see the aftermath, this is a mess of a situation.
It's horrific.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. Like Vanderlei Silva as well. Like this is the thing we fear every time we hear a guy coming out of retirement. You know, obviously don't fear that this type of situation would unfold after a fight. But to see a guy lifeless basically getting dragged to another side of the ring, it's really, really bad. And you know, Vanderlei obviously looking so bad in this post that you just showed, and he's talking about like, look, all of my friends are like, you know, are there for me and all this kind of stuff. If your friends are there for you, they should be telling you not to fight now. Like as we said during the class action lawsuit, there was him citing brain issues, all that stuff. What is he doing in there? Really, really sad scenes, and I particularly have a soft spot for Vanderlei. He was basically my gateway drug to MMA back in the early 2000s. Oh, yes. So I
remember you talking about this.
Yeah, to see him like that, really, really horrific. I just woke up on Sunday morning, I saw it, and I just like instantly day ruined, you know, horrible stuff.
Can I read that what PT talked about in the antitrust? This is what was in the 2024 letter. I fear that during my career, I've suffered traumatic brain injury, TBI, and I'm noticing symptoms common with TBI and CTE, including depression, mood swings, and irritability. I suffer from sleep apnea and have difficulty sleeping and breathing. That I can recall, I have had 4 surgeries on my nose, 1 on my face, 2 on my left knee, 1 on my right knee, and 1 on my elbow. So certainly, like, post-career, this man has been through the ringer and is in a place of suffering. To Pete's point, the fact that he was even allowed to get in the ring at that point is probably negligent to a very high degree for the people around him. But then the fact that he is through the fight and the impact, the injury comes after the fact, like there is no reason that this man needs to be around the game at this point in time, especially after having, you know, reread what he is talking about suffering from at the end of his career. it's just a really nasty kind of thing that this was even all
You know what
happening.
I fear? I fear that they're, a lot of these guys are older, his crew, and I fear they're going to try to use this into having more fights.
A promotion for the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, God, please
I
no.
hope not.
I mean, a lot of these guys were a part of the GFL.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
When we talked about that at the time, Verdun was another guy who was citing brain issues during the class action suit. Like, it's, these lads need to be protected from themselves. Honestly, and it's sad that, fucking Verdun, the heavyweight champion of the world, Vanderlei Silva, like the Pride middleweight champion, unbelievable, one of the greatest fighters of all time. It's sad that they're in situations where they're going back to fight. And I'm not saying that's unique. We see it in boxing. We see it with boxers who've earned hundreds of millions in their careers, like Mike Tyson coming back to do this. It's not unique to MMA, but it still doesn't feel good to see it.
But you can even see the justification now, right? If you're Vanderlei and team, like, it wasn't a fight. Like, I can still fight. This guy sucker punched me, so it's
100%.
different. You can see, I can see the justification happening already. Like, it's guaranteed.
It's a 50-year-old man getting his body, his completely unconscious body, dragged out across the ring.
100%.
Uncomfortable, very uncomfortable to watch. I had asked the guys maybe a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the Smashing Machine film, which comes out later this week, Friday to be exact. Can't wait. In fact, we'll have the director of the film, Benny Safdie, on the show tomorrow, which I'm really, really excited about. And we were talking about whether we should watch the documentary before seeing the movie or after. I even spoke to Rick about this. In typical Helwani fashion, I did not listen to the advice, and I watched the documentary last night after I was told I should not. And it did strike me that in one particular scene, Vanderlei's in the back. Honestly, I forgot the vast majority of it, so I'm actually really happy that I watched it. I think it's a good primer. But seeing prime Vanderlei, like 1999, 2000 Vanderlei in the back, hours after seeing that, made me very sad. Because he was, at the time, in his prime, one of the most terrifying and also talented fighters in the world.
He was the BMF at that time, right? He was the guy who, when he walked in the room, and that's why the Crazy Horse Bennett story got so much traction because of how nuts that kind of became. But he was the guy. He was the guy in the ring doing the hand thing, the locker room. Just when he walked into a room, you knew that you were dealing with the BMF, and he was that guy. He was the epitome of that, and that's to Pizzi's point, like. That's the thing that got so many people hooked on MMA. Him and Shogun at that time, and so many others. Crow Cop, Fedor. It was just an era of those type of guys, but he was the epitome of it. He was the epitome of it.
When they would shoot him up close and like
the hands
with him like this, it was fucking incredible.
That Pride Final Conflict, go and watch that Pride, the 2003, I believe it was, that tournament where him and Rampage are in I think in the final against each other, and I think he hits him with 16 unanswered knees in the clinch in this ring, and it's just
drops him over the ropes. Yeah, it's nasty shit. Like he was that guy.
Yeah, so to see this is
the most feared fighter in the world,
very sad.
I think, at the time.
Yeah, 100%.
It's very weird to me, this Spartan thing, just in the sense that it's a black tie event. You see everyone who's attending the event, they're wearing tuxedos. Like
feels fucked up.
The spectators. And you're putting on this type of fight, and this happens, like the ugliest of the ugly as far as combat sports is concerned.
Was it even broadcasted anywhere?
Yeah, Global,
okay.
which is
Global's like ESPN, right?
Yeah.
Bigger than that. It's non-sports as well. Like they used to have the UFC deal. They had Combate, which was their like sports fight channel, but Global is like Fox or CBS.
Crazy.
And this happens. And fight sports and MMA in particular, like UFC had to deal with Global, which was really big for them, but they're no longer there. I think they're on Fight Pass in Brazil.
That really messed them up in Brazil as well, getting off Global. Like that was a huge situation.
So I'm saying like it's kind of gone down. This can't help. You know what I mean? Very sad, very sad. So we do wish Vanderlei Silva the best, and we also kind of hope that this doesn't lead to him saying like, let's run it back, something like that. Or have Verdum fight the Sun in some fight. But, here we are. Who are we to tell a 49 or 50-year-old man that, you can't earn a living? This is all they know in many respects. All right. Still to come, we're going to speak to Diego Lopes. We're going to speak to the great Ben Askren. And it only occurred to me after the whole show was put together, actually it was our great editor-in-chief, Shaheen Al-Shadi, who noted this, that we have Ben and DJ on the same show. The two men involved in the only real trade in mixed martial arts history. How about that? Who scripted that? Certainly not I. It was the MMA gods who did it. Let's say hello to Demetrious Johnson, who I do believe is traveling on this Monday, kind enough to join us. Look at this guy. Biggest YouTube channel in the game, rolling with all the big dogs. Used to join us from like a really nice setup. Now he's like, yeah, I'll squeeze you in between my 10-minute ride to the airport. Must be nice, DJ.
Hey, life is good, brother. Life is good. Anytime you need me, I'll do my best to be here for you.
Thank you so much. Where are we off to? Can you tell us, or is it a top secret mission?
We're in LA with my wife for a date night. We're gonna go see the Smashing Machine LA premiere. So
wow,
we're enjoying life.
Wait. You flew to LA just for the premiere? That's it?
Yep, and it's been a night with my wife.
Your wife, who was one of our favorite guests of 2025, who you still haven't had on your YouTube channel, despite her big breakout appearance on the program. What happened?
It's coming. It's coming.
All right, fair enough. By the way, did you see that Vanderlei Silva clip?
Oh, dude. You know, the first thing I saw of it, I was like, man, can our legends just relax and not compete? Can they just enjoy retirement and not try to fight and box? And I saw the clip. It's very unfortunate, sad. But yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing I see. It's like when I see guys like Vanderlei, Vitor, those guys coming out, want to box. It's like, guys, just chill, relax. You know, there's other guys out there who can box, but I don't know his situation. But yeah, it sucks.
The juxtaposition of like where those guys are at and where you're at is very stark. But would you not say that like to get to this point, it has to be years of work in advance, right? Like you have to make a lot of the right moves and the right decisions before we get to 49 so that you're not stuck in this spot.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, before I retired, I was streaming, I mean, not the YouTube space, but the content creation space for 10 years before I was, okay, I'm going to start fully, you know, focusing on this before I retired. And then like now, when it comes to shooting anything, like I know how to change the ISO, and I do all the stuff, synth stuff, I'm going to film 4K, blah, blah, blah. So I can basically take my Mighty Cast or my YouTube on the road by myself. Obviously, it's always amazing to have Michael or Nick, the team with me. But if for some reason, if I need to shoot all that on my own, I can. And I have before. So I've been trying to set myself up, even when I was in the game as a world champion. But yeah, I agree. A lot of athletes wait to the very end to start thinking about what they're going to do. But it's way better to do it while you're in the game. That way, when you do exit, it's not a hard like, hey, I'm 49. I didn't get a fight. It's like, when I was training Barab, he was like, he played down like the Max Holloway. And I was like, what you trying to do there, Barab? He goes, come on, let's go. And I was like, I'm 39, dog. I don't need a concussion. I'm good. And I scooted in across that void.
I loved it. I love the footage of you guys training together because for a moment you're like, oh, this is DJ. I almost feel like you're trying to make the casual person who's watching this feel like, oh, this is what it would be like if I rolled with Merab. Excuse me, you're Demetrious Johnson, arguably the greatest fighter of all time, but I feel like you let your counterpart feel good about himself. Are you going like 50% so that he's able to showcase his skills here, and you're letting him tap you? Because I feel like if you were going 100%, you'd be able to hang with Merab.
Well, I think the thing is when I do the Mighty Journey and I create this content, my goal is never to go out there and try to compete and like see if I'm better than somebody, right? Like, I get tapped all the time in a gym. Like I went with Mikey, speech sister, and she was giving me a hard time. I went with Mikey. I've done with so many different people that give me a hard time. So when I work with Rob is really good. Like he knows what he's doing. He has a style that he likes to implement. He surprised me when he jumped my guard and got that neck crane rib blowout, whatever you want to call it. But like I'm not in this space of like proving I'm the best in it. Like I did it for 6 years. So I think I have this luxury where I can go and train with everybody and see how they feel, what they feel like. If I train with Sean O'Malley, that was a great, training session. Train with, Tim Welch, and I'm blessed and grateful that I'm still healthy enough that I can still move with these guys.
So what impressed you most about Merab?
Him showing up late and just being able to train.
No stretching, no nothing?
I mean, when you do it for so long, like you don't stretch and, like a lot of people out there, like I don't really stretch when I did mixed martial arts training. I just go in there and start warming up and hitting pads and just move. And then at the very end of training, I would stretch. But, all things aside, I think the thing that tries to be the most about Marab is his gamemanship. Like, he's very game. Like, he doesn't, like, he'll put himself in bad positions. He has no ego. He trained with a lot of killers. I've seen him train with the Tucker brothers. And those guys are really, really good. But Marab is very game, and he knows what he needs to do to win. And he's very, very competitive.
That sequence there where he seems to have tapped you, was that something that you had never felt before, where you felt like he was pressing on your ribs? You said you couldn't breathe?
Not someone from that size.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Like he's extremely strong, and I felt like the first session he didn't use most of his, because we're not. I mean, people got to realize, like, we're not trying to kill each other. We're trying to vibe out and just work and move and see how everybody feels, like how he feels, how I feel. And when he got that head and arm, and like, even there, like I get his back, and I was just playing. I was like, I told him I'm gonna mighty whiz bar you. I didn't have to tell him that. I could just throw him up and try to get it and use 110% effort. But that's not what this is about. It's not about me giving the arm bar and going, oh man, I just arm bar off. Like, I can give, like, that's not something I'm trying to seek out and do.
Based on what you now know about Marab, getting to feel him, getting to train with him, do you think Corey can beat him?
I think anybody can be beat, to be honest with you. Here's the thing. I think Corey has unique skill set where he makes it hard for people to hold him down. Like, if you go back and look at the Umar Nurmagomedov fight, like, Corey's doing a good job of, like, moving, trying to be very hard on his feet, giving Umar a hard time. But each time Umar came to the grappling exchange, Umar was doing a good job of taking his post away and would do a good job out rolling through his legs. Now, when you look at Marab is very good about hovering in certain positions and not lose a position. I saw Marab posted saying that he's going to spin the fight on his feet. He might the fight this on his feet, but I think Marab's strong suit is keeping people in a bad position, waiting for them to make a mistake and capitalize on it. If you look at Marab's second fight with Sean O'Malley, once Marab took it down multiple times, Sean decided to wrestle up. Once he wrestled up, he got him in the Darsky team neck crank kind of, simulation, and ended up tapping Sean O'Malley. So even when we grappled, he got me in the same thing. Like, I wrestled up, I came in, do a butterfly guard, and he got me in it. And I was like, you're just strong as fuck, man. So, but we'll see. I mean, anybody can, fighting, anything can happen.
I still believe Dominic Cruz is the greatest bantamweight of all time, and Marab doesn't have the title defenses. Cruz doesn't have a ton, just like you, because he had the injuries, but he had to beat so many guys to get to the title as well. Marab in his prime, DC, Dominic Cruz in his prime. Who do you like?
The thing is, God, it's hard. That's a hard one. Because Marab is so good about what he does. I think with Dom is a very good trickster. Not trickster, excuse me. Dom has a very high IQ. Not saying Marab doesn't. Dom is big. I just don't know if Marab can take him down. I didn't think Marab's going to be able to out-wrestle Henry Cejudo, carry him across the cage like that. But, just for how many champions Marab has beaten, I'm going to have to go for Marab. Like, not saying that Dom can't beat him, but I think, Marab is just a different animal. Like, he's able to implement the same style against everybody. You take out Jose Aldo, you put in Sean O'Malley to save Marab. You take out Sean O'Malley, you put in Henry Cejudo to save Marab. He has a certain style that he implements against everybody. It's like Marab hasn't had to be forced to stay on his feet at all. Like, Marab is to dictate where the fight takes place, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has he's a striker with great wrestling and great takedown defense. That will allow you to take it down, if that makes sense. But Marab has great striking as well. So that's where I put Marab over Dom. But Dom has great striking, but his striking is more about forcing you to miss, where Marab just walk across the void and force that fist fight, and then he's game to do that, where Dom's like, I don't want to be hit, I'm going to move. You miss, I hit you, I move. When you're moving like that, your feet are planted to drop the weight and hurt somebody. So I feel Marab will take that risk in order to like land a knockout shot. But that's just my theory.
By the way, in terms of content creation, what do you enjoy more? Shoots like that or when you do the interviews?
To be honest with you, it just all depends because for me, I'm more focused on like just vibing out, and then Michael and Nick are on the side of like packaging it well for the viewers. So for me, like, yeah, I like both of them. I was gonna go into detail like how we navigate stuff, but for me, I like.
You don't want to give up the secret sauce.
Well, here's an example. Like for me, when I do the training vlogs and Mighty Journey, I just want it to be realistic as possible. Like we go in the gym, we're taking the class, we're going through rounds, we're drilling, we have the music blasting. I love all that because that's the actual environment that the athlete is getting ready in to compete. But when you do that, you have to, silence the music. You can't hear the conversation that's going on between me and Rob. You can't, you gotta. The attention span of a person who's watching the content is very short. They want action, 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 action. So for me, I don't mind watching, like let's say there's a training log of John Jones and Gable Stevenson. I just threw that out there. And let's say it goes from A, Gable shows up, John shows up at his house. Hey, what's up, man? They're talking. And then they go to the gym, they start drilling and all that stuff. And then from John, it goes from this to X, Y, Z. I am comfortable. I would like to watch all of that. There's a lot of people out there who don't want to watch all that. So you have to cut so much stuff out where for me, I'm like, just let that shit run. Like, let it run. Like, I have that mentality. If you build it, they will come. So if you, this is my experience training from Rob, from me walking in the gym to the very last round. I mean, there's so much stuff that you guys didn't get to see that we just take it out because people just like, I don't want to see anymore. Turn it off. So there's got to be a secret sauce of it. So for me, I like just going in there, the music's blasting, everybody's having a good time. I went with Andre Philly, like me and him got like around it, and that was a great time too. So like, there's so much stuff that people don't get to see because we're trying to navigate, that sweet spot for you guys.
Have you ever been in a position? I know you're just kind of starting this sort of this type of content for your channel, where you felt like someone was aware of the fact that they're being filmed, that they're up against DJ, and they were going a little bit too hard. Has that happened yet, or are these all guys that you like and respect and are pretty much friends with?
These are guys I like and respect and friends with, and I'm very passive. Like if somebody wants to get on camera and show they beat me, I'll let them have it. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. Well, we did see you at the IBJJF, which you had the rematch against the dude that you beat last year, right? And you showed that he beat you, which I thought was a great thing on your part. And there's a great lesson to be learned there for many different reasons. But I think you injured yourself in the match, right?
But didn't injure. I felt 2 pops, and then once he went back to the same position, I was like, ain't happening. I just tapped. And it was funny because when I got back home, me and my professor were talking, and he goes, "Why didn't you just turn your knee?" I was like, you know what? I should have just turned my knee because I would have been out of the knee bar position, like the knee crank. And then I stuck my hand in there to not help, but try to avoid him going after my Achilles, and that kind of wedged my arm in there, so I couldn't turn my knee. But I tapped before I got injured.
And so what are the ramifications? Like, what kind of an injury did you actually sustain? How are you feeling now?
Oh, no injuries.
Nothing.
Like, nothing. No, it just hurt 2 pops. And I was like, uh-oh. And then he went away from it. And I was like, okay, I'm still good. And then he went back to that position. And right when he got back to it, he's about to start, pressing his hips into it. And I felt the burning sensation. I was like, I was like, I was like, nah, ain't happening, dog. So luckily I'm blessed that no injuries. I'm able to play football with my kids. I'm still grappling, lifting weights. We're good. We're Gucci.
How's the ego after that? Like, are you pissed? Does the old competitor come out, or like not bothered at all?
Dude, I train 2 days. So I grapple 2 days a week, and then I do live open mat on Fridays. So I'm training 3 days a week, where these guys, they're training 5-6 days a week, probably 2 days, 2 times a day. Like I can't have an ego when I'm not putting the work in, when somebody else is putting more work in than I am. That makes sense.
Right.
Like I know what I'm going against. That's why it's a challenge, essentially, right? So no ego. I'm happy I'm able to still be healthy enough to compete and travel and live a healthy life.
What about a trilogy? Do you want to get this guy back?
If our paths cross again, yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be fun. Like at the end of the day, I think it's fun. And a lot of people always ask me, "It's like, man, why'd you post you losing and that revenge arc?" And I was like, I read a book. It's called The Psychology of Money. And a lot of people always post their W's or W's or W's or when they're doing well on Instagram and YouTube or whatever. And for me, Warren Buffett, he's an idol of mine. I really look up to him, like the way he invests and how he's been able to make a lot of money. He says, well, in the book, it was talking about like, you never hear about Warren Buffett's loss, but he's lost probably millions of dollars along the way to become the oracle of, the oracle that he is. And for me, I think it's important that like, hey, I trained, I went in there, I competed against this guy, he beat me, submitted me. And I think it's important that people see the losses of somebody who's navigating a new journey to try to become the best version of himself. So that's why I really enjoyed that piece we did on the YouTube channel. I think it's very important. Very important.
You may not want to answer this question, but just curious, like in terms of being able to roll with anyone out there, is there a dream partner for you, someone that you would die to get on the mat with?
I say GSP, but he's bigger than me. I think it'd be kind of cool to grapple with him to see how well he is. Like we're going to try to set up a mighty journey with him for a long time.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Just, not conflict, but just scheduling, issues. So I want to do him because for him, he's what, 44, 45? He's in his mid 40s. He looks better than half the welterweights on the roster. Let's start there.
Yeah.
He still lives a healthy lifestyle. He still moves good. And that's inspiring to me where, when I went to Syndicate, they're like, are you sure you're not come back and fight? I was like, no, I don't want to. And I was like, well, the way you're moving, how you still look fit, you should. And I was like, isn't that the whole point? Is to be like a martial artist, still live a healthy lifestyle and like live that like mindset. Like that's what GSP does. And I think it'd be a great mighty journey and a mighty cast to sit there and talk to him about his life after fighting. How's he able to navigate his career? I mean, it'll be cinema.
Oh, that'd be incredible. He actually recently said that you were one of his inspirations when he was champion. Did you see this?
I did. And the feelings were mutual.
Man, what a time that was. Also a champ during that era was Ronda Rousey. I feel like something's happening here, DJ. I never thought in a million years she would come back to MMA and show any sort of interest. I feel like she's seriously considering that. You don't post that stuff unless you're considering something. I'm talking about this stuff here and her evolution. What do you think?
Yeah, if she wanted to come back, I think she'll be fine. Like when I look at the women's bantamweight division, I don't feel like the generation has really moved past her skill set. Like I think the only hole she had in her game was going to get somebody who's super athletic like Amanda Nunes and somebody who's like not going to allow her to use her judo, right? Like, and I think some of the things about her, like I followed her career, amazing career. I'll read the things about like, I remember she said she got kicked in the face and her jaw was like displaced, whatever, for like 2 or 3 weeks and she couldn't eat apple. And I was like, that's a normal thing for me. Like when I would train, like I'll get rocked in the gym. I'm like, I can't eat apple. I was like, oh shit, it is what it is. So, but yeah, I think she'd come back. I think she can make a lot of money. And I think, throw her ass on the White House card. Give her like $5 million. And she'll right off in the sunset again.
You want on that card too, DJ? Is that what you're saying?
God, no. I don't want on that card. I'm going to watch and make content on there. So, boys, make sure you check out the YouTube channel because we're doing all the breakdowns for that White House card.
Yes.
Conor McGregor's out there talking some crazy shit. He wants $100 million. Some defense. What the fuck, mate? I don't know where he's getting that talk at.
Not only that, he wants 100 golden visas too.
You gotta love Conor.
He's amazing. Okay, I don't want to keep you much longer, but let me ask you this: you usually make picks. Have you made your pick for the main event, Pereira Ankalaev 2 yet?
See, that's an interesting one. I do price picks. Okay, so it's either more or less.
Okay.
And when I'm looking at that, I like less for the takedowns from Ankalaev because he had 12 attempts on the first time they fought. He couldn't get it down once. So they have him at 1.5, takedowns. So I went less with Ankalaev for the takedowns. But I think the fight, I feel Alex Pereira, he's in a different mindset where, I felt like he carried a lot of the momentum of the UFC in 2024 with the fights, the Yuri Prohaska, the Khalil Roundtree. Just he was always fighting and always traveling. Like he was where in Australia sparring before he fought Ankalaev. So I think we might see a different version of Alex Pereira coming into this fight because he's refreshed. He's had some time to sit down and relax and enjoy the fruits of his labor with all that traveling and making all that money. So we'll see. But if I had to roll the dice, Ankalaev's so good though. Ankalaev has been submitted, but Alex Pereira doesn't grapple. So it's like, if Alex Pereira can get to that flow state, then I think he can get Ankalaev trouble. But Ankalaev's so good about keeping the range, not crossing the void, not overextending the void, going shots to the body, throwing two. And also, if he can address that outside leg kick from Alex Pereira earlier, then I think he can survive longer. So it just all depends who shows up to fights, and who's willing to go out there and just fight. So we'll see. But I like less on the takedowns.
Okay, that's the pick. Although an actual winner, you're abstaining from announcing.
Yeah, it's just too hard because Ankalaev still push over, and either is Alex Pereira. Even if Corey and Marab, that means anybody can win. It's very rare you see me, unless it's Izzy, me say he's gonna win. This is how he should win. I can give if he does this, he should win.
Okay.
But to say, oh, he's gonna win, yeah, it's very hard.
What about Yuri Roundtree? Do you have a strong feeling about that one? Oh, I lost you there. What'd you say?
Oh, I got Khalil Roundtree.
Oh.
Here's the reason why.
Okay.
Because Khalil comes from a Muay Thai background, and what he was able to do to Jamal Hill, I believe he could do the exact same thing to Yuri Prohaska, meaning that Yuri Prohaska does a lot of things that aren't fundamentally sound, and that's why he's able to beat people. But when Yuri Prohaska keeps his pants down, throw a high kick, he has to either block it or he's going to get hit by it or he's going to do a takedown. And Yuri Prohaska has it's just approaching the fight that I think somebody who has, good down easily. It's not, it shouldn't be hard. And I think Khalil understands that. And when I saw Khalil, he looks fucking phenomenal in Vegas. So I'm going to go with Khalil Roundtree for that one because he makes Yuri Prohaska does so many different things where I'm like, that shouldn't be working right now.
Have you seen the Smashing Machine documentary?
That's what I'm hearing LA to see.
No, you're here to see the movie, but have you seen did you see the doc from 2000?
No, I did not.
Okay, because that this is based on a documentary.
Yes, sir, of Mark Kerr, which I didn't really follow his career as much because it was before my time. But yes, I know it's based on the documentary and Dwayne Johnson's playing him.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see it because I'm a big fan of Dwayne Johnson and his acting career. And a hot take, his best movie's been Doom. Don't at me.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy it. Thank you so much for jumping on. Really appreciate you. Have fun tonight with your lovely wife at the premiere. And everyone go check out the channel. They don't need to hear from me. You're killing it over there. Congrats to you on all the success once again. And the best is when you go pop, 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 pop. Now we know that you're really fun when you give us the pop, 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 pop. That's the best, DJ. Love you, DJ. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, appreciate you. Hey, I still love this stuff. Even though I don't fight, I'm very passionate about fighting. So peace out.
Very
Peace,
clear.
man.
There he is, the great Demetrious Johnson, the one and only Mighty Mouse. When he comes on and he starts giving the... by the way, what about my timing there? It seems like his ride was over and I was done with the interview. How about that? That's good stuff. Smashing Machine. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's very excited about it. Have you guys seen it yet?
No.
Have not seen it.
No, but it's not in theaters yet.
What about that hot take about Doom? Did he say Doom was his best
Yeah,
movie?
the 2005 thriller.
Never heard of it.
Wow.
You've heard of the video game, though, yes?
Okay, I was just about to ask. I don't remember The Rock being in a movie called Doom.
Yeah, he
yeah.
plays the main character.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, Carl Urban.
Sussy
He
McSuss?
had a great soundtrack.
Best Rock movie.
The Game Plan.
Red
one.
Walking Tall was pretty
I was
good.
gonna say Walking Tall. What about Scorpion King?
Nah.
Not bad. The Mummy?
The Mummy Returns?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's in either of those.
Was he in?
Oh, no, he was in The Mummy.
Oh,
But
he
in
was
the
in the
Rock?
a
Mummy?
sequel, yeah.
I was thinking Brendan Fraser there.
What about the Cruise
No, he's
one?
not the main character. He's the Scorpion King in The Mummy movies.
shit.
You guys know he's in like the best film franchise of all time.
Oh, duh.
Oh,
Okay,
Fast and Furious?
Fast 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Duh. Thank you, Jordan. Wow.
I actually
What
really
a botch
enjoyed
by me.
Jumanji.
What about the Cruise one?
Oh, Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Emily Blunt are always in the same movies together.
Oh, she's in that too. I didn't see that one, but I remember there was
Also in the
a lot of buzz about it because it was during the pandemic that it came out, and everyone was excited about that.
Moana?
Fast 5.
Okay,
For sure, Fast 5.
I was gonna say Moana. I think is the best one.
No, Fast 5. Fast 5.
He makes a cameo in The Other Guys, which is a great movie.
The other guys.
Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart. Where's the fat guy?
911. Interesting. I enjoyed Walking Tall.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good movie.
One
Yeah.
that's actually serious, Pain and Gain with Mark
Pain and
Wahlberg.
Gain was good
Is
too.
actually pretty damn good. It's pretty crazy.
Number one, as far as the tomato meter is concerned.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, we don't really abide by that, but yeah.
Why?
You know.
What
More
is-
of an
okay.
IMDb guy.
Moana is number one.
Yeah, it
I
makes
mean,
sense.
naturally.
Can I tell you something that's actually shocking to me? There's two movies that you would probably think I 100% would have seen already. Number one, Uncut Gems.
Yes.
Never seen it. Which I'm shocked that I've never seen it. By the way, isn't that a Benny Safdie movie?
It is.
I need to see that before tomorrow.
Yeah.
Number two, Fighting with My Family.
Oh, you never saw the Page movie?
Never saw it.
Oh.
And that's
I
like
saw it. It was
that's like a
actually
pro
pretty good.
wrestling movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Wait,
Have you
isn't
seen that one? CC?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Oh yeah,
Fighting
yeah.
with My Family?
Is that the one with Florence Pugh?
Yes, Florence Pugh is the main character in that.
That's
great.
Okay, so that's number two on the tomato meter.
Yeah, it's a pretty great
Wow.
movie. He plays The Rock, obviously. Like it's not a huge like acting
It
lift.
got a 93%.
It's a great movie. It's a really good movie.
How have I not? Stephen Merchant's in it.
Yeah.
How have I not seen this?
You should see it.
It's Florence Pugh with black hair?
Yeah, because the character
She's playing,
Paige.
yeah, from WWE.
Gosh, I can barely see.
Later known as Soraya. Furious 7 is number 3. The other guy's number 4. Fast 5, number 5.
Fast 5 is number 1.
Jumanji 6
Shout out to Jumanji.
and Jumanji 7.
Shout out to Jumanji.
Fast Furious is number 8. I mean, how many Fast Furious? Central Intelligence.
All of them.
Hey, Central
Every single one of
Intelligence.
them.
Oh, The
Not
Rundown.
bad.
The Rundown was a good. I remember. I actually saw The Rundown in theaters way back in the day.
You see all these ones
Tooth
that I
Fairy?
wouldn't expect, and then you,
Yeah, because
you
this was
skip the.
This was back when I was very lonely. I think in Syracuse, The Rundown came out. Right?
Did you guys watch the TV show Young Rock?
Oh, you know what?
I did not.
I actually liked it.
Wow.
I actually thought it was fun.
Oh, Baywatch also wasn't bad. Him and Efron.
Oh yeah, Baywatch.
No, I think Baywatch was actually a bomb. Was it not?
No, yeah.
Critically,
he's
maybe.
typically in like some.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie.
Anyway, is it possible Smash Machine is the best one yet?
Absolutely
Could be.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting to hear the Oscar.
Can I break
he
the fourth
positioned
wall?
Himself. Yes.
Break it.
Can I break the fourth wall?
Slam through it.
Uh oh.
There's going to be a team viewing of the Smash Machine later today.
What the
So
fuck
why
is
did you
going
ask if we've
on,
seen it? If
bro?
you were gonna break the fourth wall.
Well, first I was wondering if we were going to break the.
Have you guys seen it yet? The movie that hasn't hit theaters?
Well, it's possible you went to one of the many premieres that have happened.
You
I
don't think
mean-
we don't think we'd share that?
Listen, you guys go to things. You know, you go to the Alamo
yeah,
Steakhouse. You go to this. You go to that.
Steakhouse.
DJ's just out there going to a premiere in L.A. I don't know, but we're gonna have.
I don't
we're
see
gonna
how
have a
those
team-
things are related, but yeah.
Who brought snacks? I brought the Sour Patch Kids.
I'm
My
going.
wife
sure did
actually, my wife packed us popcorn to pop.
I mean,
You actually serious, Jordan?
I'm dead serious.
Oh hell
she
yeah! I
goes,
was just gonna say I'm gonna go
she
get
goes,
some
you guys
popcorn.
bought popcorn for the movie? I said, I guess so. She said, here you go.
wow.
Rick is getting us
hell
soup
yeah.
dumplings.
Mensch. Yep.
Are you looking forward to that, Ariel?
Very much so. You know what I love? I go with the
Glaze soup
popcorn with the M&Ms in the popcorn.
Oh yeah, little
I-
Monster
Classic.
Munch or whatever.
So I
it's
don't
called.
actually do that. I think it's very weird that people do this.
What?
Isn't that in Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I've seen this recently.
Dog,
Weird
salty,
how?
Salty
What
and
is the
sweet
weird?
is such a great combo.
I don't know. I just never heard of such.
Junior
You like a
Mints?
chocolate colored pretzel?
Yeah, no, I do.
Chocolate-covered
I
pretzel?
do like these things. I just never knew people did them.
Oh hell yeah!
Sour
Yeah,
Patch
yeah.
Kids. You know what I love at a movie? What's the one? The chocolate with the caramel, the hard yellow box.
Oh, Milk Duds?
Tremendous.
Ew.
Dog shit.
Worse.
What?
Terrible candy.
This guy's
I
over
didn't know
here
those
like,
get
oh,
stuck
the
in your
crazy.
the weirdos with the popcorn and M&Ms, but I love
A
milk
Milk
duds.
Duds?
Ugh.
They are
How do you
tasty.
chew
What is
through
wrong
it?
with you?
For real, you guys? Is this a joke right now?
What do you
I
have,
know.
like,
I'm
what do you
actually
have, like
wondering if
three
this
of
is
them
a
in a
joke.
2-hour movie?
If you get
chewing.
If you get Milk Duds on Halloween, that's an auto throw out. That's an auto garbage.
That's so. Yo,
Milk
I go
Duds?
through my
Favorite
kids'
one.
candy just to take the Milk Duds.
Yeah, and they're like, take it, Dad.
Yes,
Go
please,
ahead.
take
My
it.
mom
No,
cooks
here's all the
Snickers,
butterscotch,
like,
too.
No,
Milk
Milk Duds, I love it. I love the hard consistency.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay.
I,
love
like my
that.
teeth are kind of tingling.
Apparently, they
thinking
get
about
stuck to your teeth. I didn't know this until I went to the dentist, and they were like, "What is this, Frank?" I'm like, "Oh, that's a milk dud."
Well, serious?
No,
it.
not
Yeah.
at all.
I'm very excited to see this movie.
Same.
A lot of people say that I'm not a movie buff or a movie connoisseur, but I've heard such great things. So, and tomorrow we'll talk to Benny Safdie about it. So I'm looking forward to it. Still to come, Diego Lopes will stop by, and then we'll round out the interviews with Ben Askren. I mean, I can't wait to talk to Ben. What a story. Did want to talk about some more news and notes since we last spoke. Yesterday, we got the big news that the November 8th Apex card, that's a UFC Apex card, by the way, is going to be headlined by Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. And last week, we found out that the November 1st Apex card is going to be headlined by Steve Garcia versus David Onama. Not to be confused with the former Man United goalkeeper Andre Onana. Anyway, those two main events sandwiched in between the UFC 321 card in Abu Dhabi, Tom Aspinall against Ariel, Mackenzie Dern versus Virna Jandiroba, and then, of course, the November 15th Madison Square Garden card, which is an all-timer, Islam Makhachev versus JDM, Zhang Weili versus Valentina Shevchenko. How do we feel about this Tupac of Apex delights sandwiched between the...
It's tough. It's tough, man. I love Randy Brown. I love Steve Garcia, but it's tough.
Do you think the UFC is kind of throwing in the towel as far as the ESPN deal is concerned, or is this just the state of the roster?
This seems to happen right around this time of year every year. It's always like October, November, you get the Lad Dumonts of the world. You get the Marina Rodriguez, Mackenzie Dern main events. You get these cards that aren't necessarily the highest quality. Alexa Grasso, Viviana Araujo main event a couple years ago. It's always around this time, but yeah.
By the way, I just want to note that the three examples you gave were all women's main events.
Well, that's just the nature of the game. Yeah. Because I'm also shitting on these main events and their men main events. Yeah. I mean, I look forward to Steve Garcia fights. I look forward to Randy Brown fights, but maybe not necessarily the name value to be UFC main eventers just yet.
I think we finally, it has happened, and it may not have happened today. It may have happened a while ago. There is no such thing as a UFC main event anymore. They are all equal. There is no quality. There is no minimum threshold. There is no this could not be a main event. Anything is liable to now be a main event, and that's okay. We're there.
They will have fans that will defend this to their day's end, that this is a quality main event and a quality card, and that we're getting fights every weekend, so we can't complain. But yeah, it's to go from for them to be sandwiched in between the Abu Dhabi card and the MSG card, they're gonna feel very different from each other.
I remember there was once a time where Rashad Evans versus Michael Bisping headlining UFC 78 was like a real controversial one, or Chuck Liddell versus Keith Jardine headlining UFC 76 was really controversial. And so to see how far we have come is remarkable. But yes, look, you're getting 321 and 322 with 4 title fights on those cards. The big question, of course, is, well, first of all, like there's always going to be like a negative byproduct to that when you have stacked shows that close. There are 3 pay-per-views within the span of a month and a half. So cards are going to be light in between. I still do wonder what's going to headline the December card, because now recently Alex Volkanovski, doing some media around the Perth card, has said we were thinking it was going to be December, but now it looks like it's not going to be December. And I think he said, did he say February? I think he might have said February, and he said that there was some sort of like nanner. Did you guys see this?
There might be a spanner.
What is this? Oh yeah, spanner. What is a spanner?
Something to bridge the gap, right? Like something to span the
Alex
intermediary.
When I first heard it, I thought he said Spaniard, and he was referring to Ilya
It
Taporia.
says there might be a spanner in the works. It's hard. I thought I was going to be Lerone. What does
spanner is Australian and British English slang.
a wrench?
Yeah, a tool used to turn nuts and bolts, so like a wrench. There's a wrench in the plan.
Based off of some of those tweets from Lerone, it does feel like maybe Lerone is coming to the conclusion that he is not next. And so then the two questions are, who would be next? If it's not Lerone, it has to be Diego Lopes, right? I mean, who else is there? UFC rankings.
I suppose Aljo would be the only other name you could throw out, and Movsar.
There it is. Is it possible that they're going to bypass Lerone? And then the other question is, if Volk isn't fighting in December, who's headlining December? Because we know it's going to be Pantoja Van. Are they going to close out the ESPN era with Pantoja Van as the main event of the pay-per-view?
Why not?
Just
do it.
Just do it.
You're already looking forward to your new girlfriend. Leave the ex behind. Just throw him that Pantoja Van.
They're already doing puff pieces on 60 Minutes.
We're officially stamping that puff piece. I did get my dad's thoughts.
Oh yes, please.
Here we go. He's done a lot for the sport and a self-made success. Like that, he treats former presidents, in parentheses Obama, with respect, although that may have just been to broaden his audience.
Interesting. Okay.
Those are the official thoughts.
Those are the official thoughts. You know what I liked when he talked about being at the inauguration? He's like, Obama was the only president to come up to me. But I'm pretty sure, okay, so Clinton was there. Bush was there. Is there another former president who's living who would be like Reagan wasn't there? George Sr. wasn't there. I think it's just Clinton, Bush, and Obama, right? It's not like there's like a litany of former presidents just walking around.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about this?
I think it's just Clinton and W.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for that. It can't be bantamweight. Let's just say featherweight isn't available. I think Ilya and Patty are going to be on one of the first Paramount shows, maybe in January, maybe in California. It just seems like it's too big of a fight to close out the ESPN deal with. You got to save that for the new year. Jack Della, obviously not. Hamza turn around in December, I guess, maybe. But against two, Nasruddin, I mean, you might ask him to turn it around. Okay, fine. Magomed at light heavyweight, no. Tom will have fought in October. Valentina and Zhang are fighting in November. And then maybe it's Kayla Amanda. So it's either Kayla Amanda, Hamzat, or just end the ESPN era with Pantoja Van.
I think Marab said he wants to get the win this weekend and then turn around.
Turn around at 135? And fight who?
I don't know. Find someone. No, I don't think they'll do Hamzat. I think they'll save him to the beginning of this Paramount. I just can't imagine they're going to end the ESPN deal with a Hamzat fight. I could see them doing both those. Maybe Kayla Amanda with Pantoja Van in the co-main.
Would you be surprised if they leapfrogged Lerone Murphy? I guess technically it's not leapfrog because he's ranked fourth, but I honestly thought Lerone Murphy was a shoo-in.
I'd like to see Lerone Murphy get the title shot. And if it ends up going to Diego Lopes, all respect to him, man, an unbelievable performance. But we did just see him fight Volkanovski.
Is he coming on right now?
Yeah, he's actually just getting framed up. I was like, oh, God, I got to get this out.
Real fast.
Also, he's still got the stash. It looks sick.
Oh, my God. Hair, too?
Oh, yeah.
Legendary. We did find out that the main event for the October 11th card in Rio is in fact going to be Charles Oliveira versus Mateus Gamrot. All the other guys spoke about this. This happened, I think, on Wednesday. So that was one of the big stories. And Gamrot's going to join us tomorrow to talk about getting that opportunity. There was a great clip of him reacting and getting very emotional. This is the opportunity that he's really been waiting for. So credit to him and credit to Charles for taking the fight on short notice after Fiziev was forced to pull out. So still to come is going to be the one and only Ben Askren. That will be at around 3 o'clock. And in a matter of moments, Diego Lopes, who is coming off of that incredible win over Jean Silva, which at this point is in the discussion for Fight of the Year. It was a very, very fun back and forth affair, a frenetic fight that ended in a Diego Lopes win in the second round. That was the headliner for Noche UFC, which happened 2 weekends ago. Same day as Canelo Crawford. If you recall, I did hear in that interview with Brian Campbell, that Dana White said that he was at the Noche UFC event and then got on a plane and flew to Las Vegas to get to Canelo Crawford in time for the main and co-main, which I didn't see him in attendance, but maybe I missed it, and I didn't see him do any media or anything like that. But I mean, it's conceivable that he could have flown to Texas, San Antonio from Vegas, and then flew back. Obviously, throughout fight week, he was in Vegas doing all the media, the press conference, and all the bells and whistles for Canelo Crawford. So I thought that was interesting because people were talking about him not giving Noche UFC the love that he usually would have, given a Noche UFC card, or at least the last two, the Sphere card of last year, and then the first one headlined by Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. So in a matter of moments, we're going to be joined by Diego Lopes. I think we're still waiting for his interpreter, who is going to join us any moment now. Okay, and so they are ready to go. Are they both ready to go? All right. So without further ado, let us talk to the man who defeated Jean Silva 2 weekends ago in a tremendous battle, frenetic fight, entertaining bout. The one and only Diego Lopes, who had an incredible showing in San Antonio. He's kind enough to join us with Edgar. Hello, Diego. How are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Good. How are you, brother?
I like that you kept the mustache.
Yeah, only 2 weeks. How do you think?
I think it's fantastic. I think you need to keep it.
I think so.
Well, I love it. And congratulations on the amazing win 2 weekends ago. There's so much that I want to ask you about the fight, but one of my favorite things was the reaction that you received from the crowd when you walked out. You were a superstar in San Antonio. Were you surprised at how much they loved you?
Bro, it's crazy. The people, the crowd the energy is amazing for me. It's amazing. I feel this energy in the face off. I know in this time, in the crowd, the people stay my side too. But I a little bit scared because the people know I'm from Brazil, but I live in Mexico. I represent Mexico. It's not UFC. UFC put the coins me for representing Mexico for the not UFC. I a little bit scared for the people, but I think after my song start sing, the people is crazy in the crowd. No, the people stay my side. The people love me this night.
And when you say you were a little bit scared, you mean you were a little bit nervous before the fight?
No, nervous, but I a little bit scared for the people, because it's two guys from Brazil represented in the red line for the card from Mexico,
There was a lot of emotion and some tension between you and John before the fight, and I felt like throughout the fight you didn't really take the bait. You didn't try to engage in this stuff with him, but then it all came out in the fight and in the aftermath of the fight. Was that something that you worked on? Let me not take the bait, let me not get too emotional, and let me prove my point in the actual fight.
¿Me ayudas, Edgar? Solo traducido.
Sí. Durante la semana de la pelea, John te hacía cosas durante la semana para que te enojaras y tú toda la semana lo ignoraste, básicamente. Y en el octágono hice tu trabajo y después sacaste todas las emociones, ¿verdad? ¿Ese fue tu plan durante toda la semana?
Yeah, no, I think, only in the week. I think whole training camp, this guy talk a lot in the training camp. It's like in the whole interview, this guy talk shit about of me. And it's okay. I'm stay calm. But after the fight, okay, it's my time for talk, I think this happened after the fight.
At any point, did you feel like he crossed the line, that he made this personal with you?
I think it not cross the line, but bro, this is not my personality, Like I'm so calm. I'm never there expecting nothing. It's okay. You start trash talk with the people like this, The people build your career in base this. But I build my career only put a great fight in the octagon,
And even after you finished him with that incredible spinning back elbow, he was bloody, was unbelievable. He did push you, and we've seen sometimes fighters get punished for this. Do you think? And maybe it was more of a punch to the back than a push. Whatever it was, there was some tension there, and there was a push of some kind, some violence. Do you think that he should be punished for this?
Me ajuda, Edgar?
Sí, después de la pelea, todos vimos que John te empujó, o más bien te pegó atrás de la cabeza. Y muchas veces hay peleadores que si tiran después de la campana, los penalizan. ¿Tú crees que deberían de penalizar a John sobre eso?
I think this is a UFC decision, you know. This I don't have nothing for talking about this. But it's, you know, bro, it's Texas Commission, no?
Yeah.
I think this is in Vegas. I think okay, maybe this guy have a consequence for this, no?
I saw a great photo afterwards. After you won, you were on top of the cage and you were giving the middle fingers. And this has been turned into a T-shirt, I do believe. There it is. Incredible. Who were you flipping off there?
Bro, it's like okay, I'm walking for the octagon. The coachman put the Vaseline in my face. Your teammates stay in the fish line in the seats. This guy started talking a lot shit, you know. It's like, you died today. This guy kill you. You sucks. Like bad words, you know. It's like I'm not like this. It's okay. In my head, it's like, okay. After I finish this fight, I'm back with you guys. Don't worry. This is the photo.
Amazing. You like that photo?
Look, this time I have a lot of emotion, you know.
Yeah.
Like this time I have a lot of emotion. I know in my head it's like I don't think it 2 times for show my things for these guys, but I'm not approving my attitude. But it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
Is that the most emotional that you've been in a fight?
I think so because this guy talking too much. You know, you think him talk too much. Try take my patience. You know, paciencia, diga.
Yeah.
Patience.
My patience, huh? You know.
And because of that and the pace, I talked about the frenetic pace. Are you happy with the performance? Obviously, you got the win, you got the finish, but I know you're a coach as well, and so you're probably very critical of the way in which you fought. Do you wish that it was maybe a cleaner fight?
¿Me ayudas?
Sí, como tú también eres coach, viendo tu pelea, ¿qué piensas? Como atleta, obviamente la terminaste muy bien, ¿verdad? Pero como coach, viéndola más técnicamente, ¿estás feliz con tu pelea?
Like coach, I know I'm not happy 100% with my performance. I know I need more, but like fighter, I'm happy, bro. I love fighter. You know, I think I'm a best coach. Compared I'm a fighter. You know, I think every time I try my students, I make the job a perfect job. You know, but this time for me, it's like about me. I think I need to fix many things too. Still.
I asked you before the fight if you thought maybe the fighting nerds were overrated, and of course afterwards, John lost, and everyone is now saying they're overrated and sort of dancing on their graves, celebrating their losses. What do you think of the team now that you've actually fought one of the guys?
I think now your team have a lot of materials for keeping working, you know, because you stay only one in your career, your ego is like is high, no? You think you don't need more things you training camp, but I think now this guy having money things for fixing the training camp, maybe this guy you back strong, you know.
You think they can come back, get back on track?
Yeah, I think so. It's bro. Okay, this guy. Well, this is factors, no? The team Fight Nerds are making a great job in the like 2 years, maybe or 1 year in UFC. The four guys like only having one loss in UFC, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll see how they regroup. I did see an interview with you backstage after the fight, and you threw up. You know this interview, this one right here, with Carlos Legapsi. You threw up. What happened there? Has this happened to you before?
Yeah, bro. You know, it's the adrenaline. It's like I'm so happy. It's, after the fight, I mean, walking to the backstage. I mean, asking for Gatorade or Coke or water. This guy sent me the Gatorade and the Coke. I mean, drinking this too fast, you know. I make like 4 or 5 interviews. I feel uncomfortable in my belly. I tell the girl from UFC, so yeah, I think I'm sit a little bit because I feel comfortable my belly. The girl say me, okay, don't worry, take your time. I'm in sit for 5 minutes. Okay, I'm okay. I mean, I think I'm keeping going for the interviews. No, I'm start the interview with Carlos. Okay, I'm vomiting.
Oh gosh. Well, you seem to be okay afterwards, and then drank more Gatorade after throwing up.
Oh yeah, because okay, I'm taking my time after I'm vomit. I'm breathe. I'm take Gatorade. Okay, I'm better. I feel better now.
Is it true that you offered to step in and fight Charles Oliveira on October 11th after Fiziev pulled out?
Yeah. Look, it's the guy asked me. No, I make the one interview. This guy asked me, "Oh, you think if UFC offers the fight for you with the Charles in Rio, you accept it?" So yeah, well, why not? You know?
Yeah.
I know. It's like yeah, I built my career for accept the fights. You know, I think I'm healthy. I'm not having injuries. I'm stay my weight stay good. And UFC, I don't know if UFC call me. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, well, obviously that's not happening because Gamrot is fighting Oliveira.
Yeah.
But what about you? Do you have any sort of insight as to what this win did for you and who might be next for you?
Bro, I told you before the fight, I need a great win for put my name again for the table, the title, you know. I think I make a great job in not UFC. I think now UFC have you have a big problem for the next for the title, no? I waited for a rematch with Volk. I think now I'm much better fighter of the last time. I want the rematch with Volk.
That's what you want next. You want the title shot next.
I hope.
I hope. And
I hope.
do you think there is a chance that they give it to you?
I think so. Because bro, it's like I mean, people love you watch me. People love you watch me. Lose or win, the people love you watch me. And I think now in the division in the top 5, the most decided fighter for Volk, it's me. You know.
The reason I'm asking you this is because I thought that they were gonna maybe do you versus Aljamain, you versus Movsar, and give it to Lerone. But now I'm starting to see some interviews and tweets from Lerone, from Volk, and now I'm starting to feel like they're going in your direction, like it's going to be you versus Volkanovski. Are you getting that same feeling? Is that what you're hinting at?
Yeah, I think the feel is this, no? Because I make a great job, great knockout. UFC like my style too. I think now I have like a lot possibility for the fight, the title again.
How do you think that plays out if you do fight Volkanovski, maybe in February, January, February? How do you think this plays out for you?
Any place for me, it's okay. Any place, it's okay. Don't worry for this. No, I mean, stay here for the fight. I feel better now. I think I'm better fighter of the last time. January I'm okay. February I'm okay. March I'm okay. It's like December. I'm waiting for December too. It's like or every place UFC once I'm waiting.
But in terms of the lessons that you learned from fighting him in April, that you will try to do better if you get this rematch, what are some of the things that you'll try to do differently this time around that you learned from that fight in Miami?
Oh yeah, I told this too. I learned a lot of things in the last fight with Volk. Now I have more confidence in myself too. I fix many things. I have a new space only for me. I have the cage. I have my coach like 25 hours with me too. Yeah, I have a lot of things different now.
If they do go in the direction of you fighting Volkanovski, what do you think about the rest of the division? Can I ask, like, who do you think Lerone should fight, Movsar should fight, Aljamain should fight?
¿Me ayudas, Edgar?
Sí, si te dan la pelea a ti con Volkanovski, ¿tú quién crees que debería pelear con Aljamain, con Lerone, con los demás?
Okay. I think the good match in the division. I think Leromov face Movsar.
Okay.
E Aljo face Jair, I think is a great fight too.
Yes, I actually think that it might end up that way. And so, can I ask, who do you think wins those fights?
Movsa versus Leromov, I don't know, it's a tough fight. I think Movsa. And the Aljo and the Jair, I think Aljo take the advantage in the grappling.
Okay. But right now it's very interesting at featherweight, right? All of a sudden,
Yeah.
Even with Ilya leaving, we thought maybe it wouldn't be, but I think you have thrown a wrench into their plans because maybe they were thinking John would be a fresh matchup, but here you are. Did you think that it would be one fight and you could possibly get back in there? Was that what you were thinking, or are you even a little bit surprised if this turns out this way?
¿Ayuda, Edgar?
Sí, viendo la división de 145, se ve muy interesante ahorita. Hasta con Ilya viendo esta división, ellos pensaban que iba a ser más fácil llegar y tal vez no tan interesante la división, pero ahora que tú llegas a esa división, has hecho cosas más difíciles para los demás entrando ahí.
Yeah, I think now after my run to the title, UFC sending me the fight with Jean for this, no? For okay, let's try this guy. Let's try this guy. Como que a ver se ele está listo para o top, não? E acabou que, por bueno, acabei demonstrando que eu sigo estando aí para pelear por el título.
So UFC basically, he feels that John was thrown in as a fresh face and he was ready for the top. But Diego's obviously demonstrating that he's ready to defend and also deserves to be in the top.
Your gym, Brazilian Warriors, when did you open this?
Oh, in Puebla, the gym is in Puebla, Mexico. I opened the gym I started only Jiu-Jitsu in 2017. 2017, I started teaching Jiu-Jitsu in Puebla. And in 2018, I started the teacher the class for MMA too. I built them one team, it's like professional team here in Puebla. And this, like, I live here, I teach in the gym. Now my guys stay in the gym for training. I'm still here for the interview.
Okay.
After finish the interview, I'm going to the gym for look at this guy because I have like 3, 4, 5, 6 guys fight the next month. And I'm still here for helping these guys.
I saw that you recently signed a deal with Aviator to be a brand ambassador with them, right?
Uh-huh.
And
yeah.
And so I'm just wondering, like, all these amazing things happening to you in your life, was there a point where you thought this would never happen? It seems like it's all really coming together for you.
Tienes ahora muchos patrocinios y eres embajador de muchas marcas. Hace unos cuantos años, ¿tú pensabas que esto iba a pasar para ti? ¿Es un sueño realidad?
No. my dream every time is I'm staying UFC, but I'm not sure. I have a great sponsor in my career, no? Now I have great guys in my side. I use this for help my students too, for help my gym, for help the kids, for keep training. I take the advantage for this for help the people, you know.
We saw a video after you won of your hometown. Everyone was watching outside, people reacting. When you see that, how does that make you feel? And where exactly is that?
I feel amazing, bro. I feel amazing for this. This is in Manaus, Brazil. In my neighbors, Mutirão. Bro, this for me is amazing because like it's people, the people is like know me. It's like I'm so young, you know. I'm so grateful the people stay in front in the street for watch the fight. I'm so excited too because I will back for Manaus, my city, in 1 week.
Okay, well, that's going to be amazing. Last thing, if Volkanovski is watching, what is the message to Alex?
Oh, Volkanovski is watching? Volk, let's do this again. I'm very fighting for the last time. I'm waiting for the rematch.
Okay, let's see how it plays out. Thank you, Diego. Congratulations. Great fight, great performance, great everything that week. You did an amazing job. Very happy for you, and thank you for coming on as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Talk soon.
Okay, all the best. And thank you to Edgar for helping us out. But as you see, each and every time we have Diego on the program, he continues to get better, doing a great job with the fighting, and of course also doing a great job with the English as well. Tremendous stuff there. Turning into a superstar, and I think he should keep the mustache. The whole package is a great one. All right, matter of seconds, and I do believe he is ready. Okay, this is a huge deal. It's a huge honor for us to talk to Ben Askren. Obviously, we've talked to him many times before throughout the vast majority of his MMA career, and even after his MMA fighting days were over the summer. We received some scary news, and by now you know everything that he has been through, so I don't have to go into it right here and now. As we introduce him, we'll get into it with him. And so I'll just say, without further ado, it is a massive pleasure and honor to have the one and only Funky Ben Askren on the program. Let us say hello to him on this Monday afternoon. There he is. What's up, Ben? How are you?
I'm having a good day today.
Any truth to the rumor that you said, man, I need more chats with Ariel. I'm not. This is what I need in my life. This would be the best medicine. Is that true?
Sometimes rumors get skewed a little bit, so I don't know. I don't know there's any truth to that, but you never know.
Well, it's lovely to see you, honestly, and sincerely and genuinely. And you look like your old self. I'm sure you don't necessarily feel like your old self.
Well, I have my shirt on, so you can't see. Okay. You can see how skinny my arm is still. I have obviously gained weight. The lowest weight I had was 138, probably 25 or so pounds heavier than that now. Putting my weight on has been difficult. At first, all the food tastes like shit. And then even after it stopped tasting like shit, I thought it was going to, so I didn't want it, type thing. So yeah, just dealing with kind of issues like that. But food is finally starting to both look good and taste good, so it's much easier to put on weight.
Okay. If you don't mind, and I know you've talked to a few outlets about everything, but obviously I'd be remiss if I don't ask you about how this all started. I had heard, and we could jump off from here, that you were just having some back problems in late May, and you thought it was a back spasm?
Yeah. So I've had, I don't know, probably mostly 5 back spasms over the course of my career in a very similar spot on my right lower back. I actually rolled with Rafael Lovato on Friday. He posted that video of us rolling. And actually, it's funny, he posted the part he posted where I tried to do a Peterson, but he was just too damn big. That was actually the part I was thinking like, oh, that was probably what did it right there, because I was trying to force him over and he was just too big and strong. And then I wrestled the next day, and then I came home and I played disc golf. And at no point did I feel anything. And then like Saturday afternoon, we went to a friend's like pool get together, and my back started hurting. Like I didn't even want to step by the pool. I like went and got some ice. I'm like, oh man, I got a back spasm. Yeah, and then I tried some chiropractic, and it was funny because that actually helped for a little bit. So I potentially had both the back spasm plus this other thing. I don't know for certain. But yeah, then it continued hurting. On Tuesday, we left for Vegas for the Bitcoin conference, and it was still bad. And then on Wednesday, my wife forced me to the hospital, at which point I told them I had a back spasm and I had a history of them. I got a little bit of medicine for that, and it didn't work worth a damn. By the next morning, I was way worse. I was in really rough shape, and I went to the hospital. I remember walking in. I don't remember anything else.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You were sort of fighting your wife, Amy, about going to the hospital, right?
Yeah, you know I'm stubborn, right? Yeah, I'm stubborn, and I always think I'm okay. And honestly, for probably the rest of my life, that's worked out pretty damn well for me. But I actually didn't fight that hard I think like subconsciously, maybe I knew something was wrong and I didn't want to admit it. Because if I want to fight something hard enough, I'm just not going to do it, which is, that happens a lot of times in my life. So I think maybe subconsciously I did know something was wrong, and I just didn't want to admit to it. And I was really excited about a bunch of the speakers at the Bitcoin conference, and like I can deal with pain. So yeah, I think that was. But luckily, listen, if she wasn't there, I don't know that I would have went.
Okay.
I would have had to pass out or something first.
So you say that you went into the hospital, and you're still in Vegas at this point, right?
Correct.
And then you say like you go in, and then you don't really remember anything else. What have you been told? What happened to you in that moment?
Oh, you got to talk to my wife about that. But so yeah, I went in Wednesday. We went to the exact same place on Thursday, and the Thursday I remember walking in the like waiting room, like the front part, and I don't remember anything after that till I woke up. Like I think it was like July 2 maybe, or somewhere around that time. Don't remember the exact date. But yeah, so what actually happened, like I said, there may have been a back spasm also that was confusing me, but I had this little spot of staph on my elbow, and you don't need or at least to my experience prior to this, you don't need antibiotics for every staph, right? So I showered real well, I cleaned it, I used some antibacterial and that type of stuff, and it went away. Like right, it was like on my elbow, and then a few days later it clears up, it looks all healed, but they say it somehow got into my bloodstream, which I'm not a doctor, I don't know how that works, but it did. And then from the bloodstream somehow it got into the lungs.
Damn.
And then it's eating my lungs. So that's kind of the long and short of it. I think in the beginning they thought they could do heavy doses of. I wasn't awake for this, right? So this is
right.
Like knowledge. Heavy doses of antibiotics, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And essentially, I was on a whole bunch of machines to keep me alive. And then at some point, they realized the only way I was going to stay alive was if I got a lung transplant. So when I woke up, I had 2 new lungs.
Did you have pneumonia?
They called it necrotizing pneumonia. But prior to like me going to the hospital, I think I'd even worked out a couple days in there. Like it wasn't like I was short of breath or like none of that stuff. I didn't really feel sick. I guess the last morning before I went in, I would say, yeah, I didn't feel very good. But like the day or two prior to that, like I would tell you, I felt completely fine. Like I said, I'm pretty certain I worked out on Tuesday and or Wednesday. Yeah, so it was shocking to me.
For the vast majority of the time you're talking about here, are you in Wisconsin or are you in a Vegas hospital?
So we were in Vegas. I went to one hospital for 2 days, and I guess, man, I'll probably start crying, but I had so many people who were so good to me. So 2 of our friends, one of which is a doctor, and one of which she was actually a nurse practitioner in the CVIU that I would actually end up in Milwaukee. Like she's kind of in charge of it. They both flew to Vegas.
Wow.
Help my wife. And so they kind of just determined the first hospital didn't have what it took. And they got me transferred to this better hospital in Vegas. Like I said, I don't remember any of this. They got me transferred to a better hospital. And then they just started doing research. And actually the hospital here in Milwaukee has a really good department for this type of thing. And so, they suggested that I come back here, and a bunch of them, they even put together like, I essentially took like a private jet with medical stuff on it. So, because I wouldn't have been able to be off stuff for long enough to fly back, right? So it had to be this very specific type of medical flight. And I flew from Vegas to Milwaukee, and they got me to Freighter, which is the hospital here. It's local, but apparently they're really, really good at the specific thing I needed.
For the beginning of this, none of us really knew about it in terms of the media or the community. I'm sure, obviously, people close to you, and then word started to trickle out, and honestly, and I'm sure this is not news to you, but the word wasn't great. Even some people saying this is it, which was shocking. And
honestly, Ariel, there was, from what I've heard from other people, there was multiple times when it was almost over.
Wow.
And so, I know one time I had 2 friends that were in there, and like literally my heart stopped for like 20 seconds, right? And I guess it happened like multiple times in a couple hours, and they were all scared shitless. And, I don't remember any of it. And then there was a few other times where my wife said, like it wasn't good. And, eventually they sedated me so hard because every time I would even move a little bit would affect my oxygen levels. So yeah, I mean, I don't remember any of it, but yeah, I don't think it was very good.
When you got better and spoke to doctors about it, did they say this was a miracle? Did they think that you were not going to get out of this?
It's funny because I don't think they want to express that to you, but yeah, there's a few that thought I was a goner. And honestly, had I not got the lung transplant in such expedited fashion, and I did that because I met all their criteria. Right? I had a life-threatening illness. I was young. I was healthy. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Right? So all these metrics they wanted me to hit, I was there. And so, I got a lung transplant relatively quickly. And, who knows? Honestly, with that, I don't know.
Wow. And it was a double lung, right?
There are 2 new lungs.
Wow. And how long is that surgery?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
No, well, I mean, I guess technically you were there, but like, what did they say? Is that like, I don't know anything about it. It's like a 10-hour surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds pretty.
It's probably a long time because I know they said they had to like scrape my previous lungs out of my chest cavity, which sounds awful. I don't even like, they cut me straight across like here and they just open it up, which sounds awful.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the donor?
I don't. They don't really tell you that. After a while, they'll give you the option to message them. And then if they want to, it's not the donor, right? The donor's family.
Sure.
If the donor's family wants to message you back, they can. So, yeah, I'll see on that one.
Okay. One thing that I was wondering about, and I hope I'm not trying to make you emotional here, but I was thinking about this a lot.
Okay.
We know a little bit about your wife. She's on social media, and I know you have kids. You're out of it, right? Like you don't know, and so in a crazy way, they're the ones who are really suffering in the sense that like they have to see you in this state.
Yeah.
Did your kids know about? I mean, I'm sure they knew because you were in the hospital. How did you deal with that, or how did she deal with that?
We kind of shielded them from it. We never let them know. This is her telling me we never let them know really how bad it was. But yeah, I mean, they visited me in the hospital multiple times. Yeah, so I don't know that she ever told them fully.
How is she handling it?
She did great, and she's, obviously like I'm way, way better than what I was, but like, there's still a lot of things I kind of need help with, and like, it's weird because one of the biggest things right now is I just don't have the energy. So like today I felt really good and I've done a bunch of things, but that means I'll probably crash tonight, right? And I'll maybe feel shitty tomorrow. And that's kind of like how it works. It's just like, I just can't do that many things. I get worn out. My body just can't handle it. And it's not even like I'm doing a lot. It's like, previously I would have done 10 things. I'm doing like 3 of those. And then that's like exhausting.
Can you walk on your own?
Oh yeah. I started, when I left the hospital, I was, I had a walker, and I ditched that kind of a while ago. I ditched that, once it was the end of August. I said I started trying to walk like real short distances, like here to the table or here to there, and I just got more and more comfortable. Yeah, I walked yesterday. Last week, we went on a hike, and I got lost. Don't tell my doctors that.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so my previous long walk was like 25 minutes. We walked 47 minutes. But then that's one where it's like, I felt like crap for 2 days after that. It was not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know this might be a silly question, but like, what about driving and things like that?
Driving now.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Wow, that took a while. Yes. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of things on my own. I'm just not doing them really well, and not too much of them. And like I said, Amy helps me out. Now, our kids aren't great at it yet, but it's been a good opportunity for them to take more responsibility. Our oldest is really good at it, but the other ones aren't quite there yet. So yeah, I've lost it on them a few times because my main thing is like, Amy is so busy, right? She's got to deal with my shit now too. Before I was a contributor,
right?
And now I'm not really, or maybe a little bit. I'll try to help out here and there. But so it's like there's so much burden on her, and then just everything with the hospitals and insurance. It's like I can't tell you how many hours she's spent trying to figure that out and deal with it and that type of thing. So it's like she's been so busy, and so it's like I've really been prodding the kids to contribute more to her.
You're a pretty active guy. I mean, you were going to come back and compete at RAF.
I was so excited to wrestle, and now it's sad because I'll probably never get to wrestle again. They didn't say no for sure.
Oh,
but I think it's probably unlikely, I would guess.
I'm just wondering, how do you not go stir crazy? Because you're coaching, you're in the gym always. Now your life is a lot more calm.
Well, I got some mats in my garage, and the kids come over to privates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that started a few weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that's probably one of the worst parts right now is I can't be up and active for a really long time. It really wears me out. And I'm not supposed to be around people. And so, yeah, well, honestly, this weekend was easy for my family. We didn't have a lot of stuff going on, so it was great. But, a lot of weekends, it sucks because it's Ozzy has football in the morning, and I can't go to that. And then Andy has cheerleading, and Alex has soccer. And so it's I just freaking sit here alone. But for 6 or 7 hours or something like that. So it's not ideal.
What do you do to pass the time?
Read a handful of books, play on my phone. I started watching the Brewers because Ozzy, my son, loves the freaking Brewers. So I'm watching them with him, which I haven't watched baseball regularly in 20 years, maybe more. But the Brewers are good this year, so it was actually kind of fun to watch. To follow them with my son.
I'll never forget when you popped up, the first time you popped up on Instagram, that video that you posted, your hair was a lot darker. You had a Fu Manchu.
Yeah, it was weird. Well, I was trying to shave myself and they wouldn't let me.
It was
my hands and my arms didn't work. It was a disaster.
It was shocking to see you like that because you don't usually have facial hair. And when you were in that, when you woke up, was there a part of you that broke mentally? Where did you think I won't get out of here? How did you deal with the news? Because when you wake up, you have someone who has to explain to you what just happened.
Yeah. So I think in some way, shape or form, because I'm trying to reflect on this, I think I got some issue where I can only think forward. Right. Cause it's man, even in this whole time, I think it's been 12 weeks since the surgery. So probably a little less than 12 weeks since I was conscious in that sense. But I haven't dwelled on it at all. And it's some days when I really feel like shit, I'm oh man, I wish I didn't feel like this today. I wish I could, do this or do that or something that I want to do. And I have to realize I can't do that today. I need to freaking rest because I feel terrible. And then, they always say if you push it too far, then it's going to cause complications. So, there's been a few days where I'm I wish I felt better today so I could do a specific something. But I haven't looked backwards all that much. It's just okay, here's where I am. And, I got to work from this point. And, one of the things I always stress my wrestlers, which I think maybe I've done it so many times I've brainwashed myself, is that anxiety and stress in people is generally caused by thinking about things they cannot control. And so you focus on what you can control, right? So I say Ariel, if I had you fight Tom Aspinall, how many times are you going to win? And you'd say 0. I said, Ariel, if I had you fight your youngest son, how many times are you going to win? You'd say all of them. And so it's the result of a contest is often not within our control, but it's how hard can you try, right? Or so what happened in the past is not in my control. I can't do anything about it. Do I wish it was different? Of course I do, right? I was having a great time in life. Everything was moving in a positive direction, but I haven't really dwelled on that too much, and I think that's probably, and honestly, I think for a lot of people, because Ariel, when I put that first Instagram video up, it was because when I first got my phone back, I don't recall which day it was. My wife kept it for a while. I think she was responding to a lot of my stuff. But when I first got my phone back, I have 1,000 some texts and 1,000 some messages, and my hands were like this. So it was I couldn't text. And so it's well, I want people to know how I'm doing, especially now that I'm likely not going to die. I want to put that out there. and I had no idea it would go as viral as it did. And I think a big part of that is like the message of like, hey, I am where I am and I'm going to try to get better. That has seemed to be really impactful for a lot of people.
Oh yeah. And even like your subsequent videos where you're trying to like almost give us motivational messages as you're going through this is amazing to see. But then I'm reminded of the Ben Askren that, spoke to us on this show the Monday after the Masvidal fight. Like, you've never backed down. You've always been able to put a positive spin on this. So if there was ever someone that was equipped, I think, mentally to deal with something like this, it's someone like you.
Yeah. I mean, I always said fighting or wrestling losses never really bothered me. I saw them as an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to improve. And, if I want to look at the depressing side of this, which every once in a while I bring up to my wife because she'll maybe be too optimistic. It's like, there's a whole bunch of shit that I love that I'm never going to get to do again. It's like, I'm not supposed to go outside in the sun for too long. I'm not supposed to chainsaw. you're right. I'm really not probably supposed to be around big crowds that much. After a year, maybe a little better. But it's just there's this long list of stuff I'm just not supposed to walk around barefoot. That one pisses me off. I did this morning. Don't tell anybody. So it's like, if I dwell on that, like, here's all these things that I really enjoy, really love, and I'm never going to get to do them again. Right? That'd be really disheartening. So it's like, focus on what I can do every day to get better. And then, hopefully I'll get good enough to do a lot of things I enjoy, or maybe I'll find a few other things that I enjoy to do. And, obviously I think medicine and healthcare is moving forward. So who knows, maybe in 10 years, there'll be something where they can alleviate some of these other problems I have too. I have no idea. So that's kind of how I'm envisioning it in my head, is just focus on the day to day, try to do what I can do. And, hopefully I'll be able to live a semi-regular life and do a bunch of things I enjoy. And who knows, maybe medicine gets better and I can even have a better outcome than that.
How close to 100% are they saying you can get to your own self?
I mean, they said, like, they were giving me an example of some guy who ran marathons and he was able to run a marathon. I think it was only like a year and a half after his surgery. So like they say, and there's a guy that was like, they gave me all these guys to talk to if I wanted to. One guy was like a mountaineer, so he does that. But so I think physically I can be really healthy again, but it's just like, now it'll be like this effing stack of pills I got every morning. Like, before this, I was on no medications, none, right? And now it's like, I don't know, I probably got to take 40 pills a day.
Wow.
And that's going to go down, but it's never, ever going to go to zero.
How often do you have to go back to your doctors? How often do you have to see them?
I just crossed the threshold. It was once a week, and now it's every other week for a while. And I think after that, it goes to once a month. And then I think after a year, it becomes even more infrequent. I don't know if it's every quarter or every 6 months or something like that.
Was there anything?
That feels like a really long ways away to me.
Sure. Was there anything you could have done in retrospect to avoid this?
I don't know. Like, when I think about those things, it's like, that's just not something I would have done.
Yeah.
Like when my back starts hurting on Saturday, go to the doctor. I'm sure some people would have done that. I would have done that 0 out of 100 times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't feel sick. I worked out. My back felt tight. So like on that Sunday, Monday, I was supposed to wrestle with a kid. And I said, hey man, my back's so bad. We got to find you a different partner because I cannot wrestle. Yeah, but I really thought it was a back spasm and I didn't feel sick at all. So I suppose I could have went to the doctor right away, but that just seems to me to be an unrealistic possibility of who I was.
And I'll let you go in a moment because you've given us a lot of your time. But I'm just curious, when I remember you got out of the hospital and then like 2 or so days later you posted a video saying I'm back. Like,
it was like 6 days, but yeah.
Okay, yes. Do you have, because everything seems very positive, but like, do you have moments where you feel yourself slipping, where you feel yourself breaking? And if so, how do you get out of that funk?
Man, I hate being in the hospital. It sucks.
Yeah.
I was there way too long this summer. No, I guess, like I said, I could have been more careful. Like my back hurts. I could have went to the doctor, which is, man, I can tell you from age 30 to 40, I don't think I went to the doctor. Like to get my hip done, and that's it. But like just as a general, I'm going to go to the see the doctor for whatever. Like, no, I was healthy and I didn't need to go. And I maybe took my kids to the doctor some, right? That type of thing.
Right.
But now it's like, for example, I'm on all these immunosuppressants. So it's like I need to be cognizant of who I'm around and if they're sick. And then if I start feeling stuff, I need to be able to go address that with my doctor. And so I guess I am more cognizant of it just because I'm in a little more difficult of a predicament than I was ever previously.
Did you see that the U.S. team had your initials on their gear?
Yeah, that was man, like I said, I don't want to get too emotional, but I brought up the 2 women flying to Vegas to help my wife with that stuff. But I've had just an insane amount of support from so many different people in so many different ways. My wife set up that Help Hope Live, which is essentially like a GoFundMe, but you can only use it for medical expenses, which I thought was good because I didn't want it to be like we're just getting this money. That would have been weird. I think she felt similarly. We had thousands of people donate on there. I mean, it's crazy. And then, her mom's group at church set up a meal train. And I had so many friends come and visit. I mean, I'm still having them, right? Just come and visit and help out or sit with me in the hospital or, that type of stuff. And, when I was in the hospital, when I finally started walking around the hallway, it was kind of sad because it seemed like there were some people who never had anyone with them ever, And it's like I was so lucky that I had such a great community. And honestly, sometimes it'd be too much. I'd be like, Amy, I can't take anyone else. I just need to lay here and be quiet because it's wearing me out to have too many visitors, So that's a good problem to have. And then, just everyone's just been so generous. Feels really good.
Last thing, if I may, and I don't want to ask you about specifics because I think it's very tacky, but there did become this thing as like, who's helping Ben, who's not helping Ben, famous people.
My wife said you were going to ask this.
No, but I don't want to ask you who specifically. I just want to know if there's anything you want to say about that because I don't think anyone should be forced to help anyone.
Hell no.
And so I just want to know if you wanted to clear.
Paul and Dana White both donated.
Sorry, say that again. Sorry, I missed you.
Jake Paul and Dana, they both donated.
Okay.
They were both very generous. But to your point, it's like, I don't expect anything out of him, right? If they didn't want to, they don't want to. That's their money. They should be able to do what they want with it. And I'm grateful that they felt generous enough. But then also, it's like, Amy and I talk, we don't want to talk about it too much because it's like, there was literally like 1,000 some people that made some donation. And, say $10,000 is someone who's got many millions versus $25 to someone who doesn't have anything. It's like that's just as big of a burden on that person, right? So you look at a person-to-person burden, and so we had so many people that were really, really generous. Those guys were both generous, and it's really, it's almost funny when it comes from like, I don't know if you call them your enemies or just people you haven't seen eye to eye with. But I mean, that kind of brings out the good side in humanity, I think.
Is there anything you want to say to the people, the average Joe, anyone who supported you? And is there anything that we need to know about how we can continue to support you?
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be okay at this point. But yeah, we just had so many people who were really, really generous in all ways. I said in all ways, whether it was meals or helping with our kids, because especially when I wasn't awake, my wife had to deal with all the medical stuff. If they needed something, they talked to her because I couldn't talk. From donations to Help Hope Live, a lot of college friends and old friends coming to visit me and see me just to spend some time with me. Yeah, really in all ways, it was a really, obviously I never would have chosen to go through it, but it was really amazing to see how generous and charitable people were.
Amazing. Thank you, Ben. All the best to you. Get well soon. Really appreciate you coming on.
You got it.
There he is, Ben Askren, who has been through a lot. What a summer for him, but so great to see him on the other side of it. And yeah, I was in that process reminded of who he is as a person and the stuff that he's been through and the way he would handle setbacks. Truth be told, he didn't have a lot of public setbacks, but back end of his career, the Masvidal fight, the Jake Paul situation, and he handled it just like this, just like the guy that you see on social media. Very matter of fact, positive outlook, very inspirational, and it's amazing to think back to. I remember getting the message from someone close to him that it wasn't looking great, and now to see him here and looking like that, looking like his old self. I know he doesn't feel like his old self, and he's obviously skinnier, but to see how far he's come is pretty amazing. And yeah, shout out to his wife, Amy, who appears to be an angel. I know her very much from afar, but obviously they've been together for a while, and seems so loving and supportive of him. And I can't imagine what she's been through when you're seeing your significant other getting transported, your partner, the father of your children, and in a state like that. I can't imagine how scary that is. So shout out to them, shout out to the Askrens, much love to them, and I wish that he only continues to get better, and that who knows, maybe he defies the odds once again and competes for RAF or does some sort of exhibition and shows us all that we can truly overcome everything. All right, let us keep going. Let's talk about some more things. Actually, we have some super chats. I want to answer those before I keep going. Yeah.
It's your world, man.
Yeah, why not? YOLO. Got a big movie premiere to attend.
Hey, got my hotel booked at the MGM for WrestleMania, but was just so discouraged
by the way,
by...
I actually thought you were saying this. Like the way you said that, I thought you got your hotel booked.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, very nice.
Should I start over?
No. Now I see it's Jake from...
Now I have second thoughts, friendly advice. P.S. Please let Frank read the super chats.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Wait, sorry. Let me just... Sorry, we got sidetracked. Can I digest that? But got so discouraged by tickets. Oh, tickets starting at $8.54. Wow, at Allegiant Stadium, 2 nights. Holy shit, they're gonna make a lot of money off that. Listen, I don't know how much you can afford. Whatever. I say you got your hotel, YOLO, live it up. The next WrestleMania is not in the United States, so it's going to be a lot more expensive to go to Saudi Arabia, and who knows where the next one will be. I say if you can do it, live it up, but who am I to tell you how much? The cheapest ticket is $8.54? What is the most expensive ticket?
$9,000 for floor seats, it says on the AI overview on Google.
$9,000 for floor seats, and that.
Yeah, but you get your chair though, right? You get the chair.
Don't trust that AI overview.
Yeah.
I wonder what a floor seat to MSG UFC costs too. Like the money is nuts out there for ticket prices,
and that's one night. They're doing this 2 nights.
18,000.
Yeah, I know, but like think about the money that they're going to be making off of this.
It's quite a bit.
How does that compare? Yeah.
Tickets for the Ryder Cup this weekend were hundreds of dollars. Like the cheapest to get in on Saturday was like $1,100.
And what's like a usual? I don't really know about golf tickets. Like what is?
I mean, I've been to like Sunday at the U.S. Open for like $160.
Oh wow, and that's just to stand at a hole, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't roam around.
You can roam around, but it gets
then you won't get
tiresome, and there's huge crowds, and you're not going to really be able to see the shots.
I mean, we were talking about this on Boys in the Back, but like just ticket prices in general for anything in the world,
especially like WWE,
ridiculous.
You're almost certainly like bringing your kids. It's I feel like it's rare that it's just a person buying a single ticket for themselves.
Unless I'm crazy, did I not hear Mark say something about like we used to price it family friendly, and now it's like we were leaving money on the table? So one of the TKO executives, I'm fairly certain, I remember saying something to the effect of like, it used to be priced family friendly, but no more because we were leaving money on the table, and now we're coming after it.
Well, here's what you have to understand.
Yeah.
Dynamic pricing, right? Let me explain to you dynamic pricing. It's that word kills me.
All right, so I will say on like
site fees,
a different site, TickPick, I can get a 2-day pass for $481.
2-day pass $481, like $481.
Here it is, by the way. Mark Shapiro. Vince McMahon was primarily pricing tickets for families and wasn't focused on maximizing the opportunity to increase said prices like TKO is focused on doing, from one of those Goldman calls that we get. So, yeah, you know what? Fuck them kids.
I was going to say.
Well, you remember
them kids.
Remember when Ricochet was on and he said that it was like a family-friendly product, and then people are like, well, you are having matches where forks are being stuck into people's heads. I think what he was referring to was the price of the tickets. I believe that's what he was referring to. Here are the WrestleMania 42 ticket prices according to Newsweek. Section A on the floor, $8,998. Section B on the floor, $3,800 or so. R101, obviously a little higher, $2,200. 100 level, between 1,100 to 1,400. 200 level, same-ish. 300. 1,100, and then $854 for the cheapest.
These are the retail price. This is what they sell for from the box office.
I mean, I'm saying
This apparently does not include Ticketmaster fees as well.
Christ
So just
almighty.
imagine what those fees on a $9,000 ticket are.
Plus, I am seeing a 2-day pass on TickPick right now after fees $481.
That's a parking pass.
I mean, you're sitting with God.
That's
You're
a parking
sitting
pass.
with God. Section 433, row 8. Like you are in the nosebleeds of all.
There's
nosebleeds.
airplanes buzzing.
You're not even watching the ring. You're just watching the jumbotron above the ring.
And by the way, obviously most people are coming from out of town, so that doesn't include
Flights, hotels,
your hotel.
food,
Yes.
souvenirs. You're gonna have to get a souvenir.
Oh my
if you go.
gosh.
But that chair.
I'll enjoy it on TV.
Yeah.
It's
I will
gotten
enjoy
to
it
the
on
point
TV.
where you cannot afford to be a fan of anything if you want to go see a live
Right.
event, whether it be a concert. By the way, this is not specific to WWE. This is not specific to UFC.
Don't add me, Frank.
What is that? What is
Concerts
that?
are nuts.
He likes niche music.
Oh. What is the
Frank,
ad?
you're telling me your cost to go to these concerts and stuff has not significantly increased?
It is increased, and there's some artists, like one we're going to see next month, that's a little high for one show. But when you go to multiple shows, the budget $25 to $50.
Fucking high roller Frank over here.
$25 to $50.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you seeing? Some super niche.
I'm sure the chat will love it. I'm going to go see Swans on Tuesday of next week.
Not familiar.
If I've heard of Swans, it would be a
yeah,
miracle.
the chat's coming for you.
Garbage Man,
or
Death
with an S?
Days.
How's Swans? How do you spell Swans?
That's SW
Yes.
A
Yes.
N
Yes.
followed by another S.
All right, you could have just said that. I mean, it could have
Well,
been Swans.
I didn't know if it was a bit or.
No, I don't know. What the hell?
He's trying to get over because he can't read. He wants to pull a fast one.
I had to read. I'm reading it myself to make sure I got all the letters right.
Anyway, all to say, it's very expensive. But if you already bought your hotel, and I'm assuming your hotel room, and I'm assuming the flight as well, live it up. Although, by the way, this is Allegiant Stadium. You're going section 400. You won't see anything.
Nothing.
At that point, for me as a fan, I'd rather just be at home.
1,000%.
Right?
1,000%.
There will be diminishing returns on this at some point. There will be a point where enough fans have paid that price once, and then they just go, I'm staying home.
So I was at the Ryder Cup this weekend. Bucket list thing to do for me. Like 2 hours in, I looked at the person I was with. I was like, can't lie, this would be better just be watching it.
Wait, you went?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Where was it?
Bethpage.
I don't know where that is.
Bethpage, Long Island.
Bethpage,
Oh,
Long
wow.
Island, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you went.
Oh, yeah, that's how I got the shirt.
I saw you bought it off the. You were
thought I was
there.
wearing merch. Oh, yeah, I was there
He
on
posted
Saturday.
pictures.
I mean, Instagram story. I know,
He invited all of
Things
us.
get busy.
That might have been. Was that like family and friends with the star?
Nah, I don't do family and friends. Everybody's my family and friend.
Yeah.
On old IG.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there.
Was it fun? Europe won, right?
Europe won.
Europe's on fire.
Yeah. I mean, USA had some fight yesterday. They won almost every match, but just not enough to get it done. Buried themselves too deep on Friday and Saturday. But from a fan perspective and how much like tickets were going for and everything, I don't know if I would do it again.
Can I say, I don't think it's fair that it's the U.S. versus Europe because Europe is a continent, U.S. is a country. It doesn't seem very fair.
Nah.
No?
Seems
We're one
very
country.
fair.
We'll take on the whole continent.
Yeah.
Who's the best American golfer?
Scotty Scheffler, world number one.
Number two?
Won 2 majors this year. Number 2 would be Rory McIlroy.
So what's
No,
up with that?
who's the second best American?
Yeah.
Oh, second best American.
Rory McIlroy's European.
I thought you meant world number
No.
2.
Who's
I mean, DeChambeau's good.
Yeah, so it falls off.
I mean, JJ Spawn.
What about Gretzky's son-in-law?
Oh, Dustin Johnson, he's washed, bro.
Oh, he's washed?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's done.
Damn.
Yeah, he's on like live doing bullshit.
And so, and by the way, like, what about Mickelson and these guys? Wash?
Mickelson's like 55. Dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he's long gone.
And where did you stand?
Yeah, I stood on the first green, watched like the four groups go through. There's only 4 matches going on. That's what kind of limits this. When you're at a normal golf tournament, there's guys just cycling through the entire time. But with only the 4 matches, you know, you're limited. You're chasing. You got to go get out ahead of them to be able to see it.
Right.
It was hot. I got sunburned, the bald head. I didn't do the math. I was like late September. I won't get burned.
Burnt.
Oh yeah, I got burnt.
Nice merch.
Yeah, some nice merch. I can't lie. Shout out to 47. 47 the brand.
Oh, okay, I was like,
not 47 DT.
It wasn't.
He was there.
What's wrong with that?
This saying like
Yeah.
the 45th and it's red, white, and blue. You would think it would say
Yes, yeah.
United States of America.
Man, you were there. PT was at Croke Park for
Pizzi's at Croke
Steelers.
Park? Yeah, Viking Steelers.
Yeah.
I was sending Pizzi pizzies because I know he supports Team Europe. I
Yeah.
was like,
Nothing?
Belt to ass. You guys are killing us. I'm enjoying it. No, he's like, it looks great. Then Frankie's like, Pizzi wouldn't stop texting me about the Vikings. I was like, guess I missed it.
About the Vikings.
He had a nice picture with the people he was watching it with. It was nice.
Wow. You got like private text from him? Like
yeah,
just
man.
wow.
We chatted up.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. I actually took a picture with Mick Conlon, who PC did a story on Crown at the fight. He was there cornering Tam Tebow. A little selfie. I was like, let's take a picture. Mick, we're buds for the for Pizzi, for the crack, as they say.
You say no?
No, I got the picture. No reply from Pizzi.
Damn.
Didn't even reply.
He's a tough
Next
nut to
day,
crack.
I was like, you know what? I didn't get a reply. I was like, hey, Pizzi, no reply to the selfie? I mean, it's Mick Conlon in Montreal. Oh, sorry, I'm at the game. It's crazy here. I mean, I did send the selfie to you yesterday.
I've been at the game since yesterday.
Yeah. It's crazy at Croker here. I'm like, yeah, what about yesterday when I sent it to you?
The lads were all over the gaff this weekend. Ryder Cup, Montreal MVP car.
It was
Croke
a bit of
Park
an international affair. Anyway, what other questions do we have, Mr. Frankie?
The proper term is what else?
What else? Yeah.
Are Izzy and Olberg still cool? Izzy noticeably did not react to Carlos's win this weekend in his video. And Carlos dodged a question at Thursday presser about him and changed the topic to Mark Hunt.
I will be honest. I didn't notice any of this. Did you guys notice this?
I didn't really pick up on it, no.
No, neither did I. They always seem like boys.
Yeah. I mean, Izzy was there.
He was there. He was out training with them when they were with KKF on International Fight Week.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that. If they're, why do people love this kind of drama so much? All right, just let them be. What else, Frankie? What else?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you guys think Ronda is training for the White House card? Sure seems like it. Ronda versus Kayla?
Okay, so I don't know if it's the White House card, but I really think something is happening here. I don't think this is just, is she testing the waters? Sure. I think there is interest, and I'll also say this. I never thought that would happen. Like, I never thought she seemed so disgusted with MMA, with the community, with the fans. I'll never forget the Ronda that showed up to fight Amanda Nunes. What was it? 11 months after the Holly Holm fight. Like, she was a shell of herself. Do you guys remember this? She didn't show up to the media day. She was the only. She showed up to the morning weigh-in, like backdoored it, weighed in, didn't look at any of us, and then bolted. Didn't talk to anyone. And then ended up losing in like 60 seconds to Amanda Nunes. She seemed like a shell of herself. She seemed broken. Obviously, that was 2016. We're approaching almost 10 years since that fight, which is crazy. I mean, we're approaching 10 years since the Holly Holm fight, November of 2015. So a lot has changed. She's a mom now. I think she has a couple of kids. She's married, et cetera, et cetera. But I just think when she left and went to WWE, at the beginning, she seemed so much happier. She seemed like she was enjoying it, all that. And then, of course, towards the end, it seemed like she soured on the world of wrestling. To now see this and to see her kind of flirting with the idea is something that I never expected. But I do think something's there. What does that translate into? Does it actually translate into a fight? I don't know. And I don't even know. Put it this way. It seems to me, and let me know if you guys disagree, that the vast majority of the people who want to fight on the White House card are fans of Donald Trump. Is that a fair thing to say? Like open fans? I don't know where she stands on all of this. So does it matter that it's White House or not White House? I don't know. By the way, I don't even know if she has a UFC contract. I would assume if she came back, it would be for the UFC because of her, very good relationship, it seemed, with Dana White, but who knows?
Are you saying she could be on Don Davis's proposed PFL White House card? Is that what you're getting at?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the connection to President Trump, I think, there's certainly some prominent names that are associated in that direction, but I do think this is such an opportunity in terms of like transcending that there's a lot of people who would be angling for this card.
The ones though who are publicly angling, and by the way, Frank just sent me a link here from Newsweek, second Newsweek mention on the program. During a recent appearance on the Lapsed Fan podcast, Rousey said, quote, "I got better shit to do" when asked about fighting at the White House event. Newsweek has reached out to the White House, the UFC, and representatives for Rousey via email for comment outside of their regular working hours. Like, what are you going to say? Hey, guys, I heard that on the Lapsed Fan podcast, Ronda Rousey said no. Anyway, it doesn't sound like she wants to fight at the White House event.
Yeah.
I don't get the impression that that's motivating her. I just think she seems to be enjoying training right now. And it seems to be at a pace and with I don't know. Listen, we're going off of a 45-second video here, but I'm just getting a vibe. That's all. I'm getting a vibe.
And also, wouldn't the White House card kind of be the antithesis to the last time, right? The idea, or actually it'd be in line with last time. She'd almost want the antithesis, which is like last time the lights were bright. It seemed like she didn't really want to be there. The best time to come back, or the best opportunity to come back, might be a quieter thing, right? It might be like, hey, not an event, maybe an event to Vegas or California or something, and not necessarily that. At the same time, though, would you fault anybody if she said, yeah, I want to be on that card and I'll take on whoever? I think it could go either way now. It's still way too early to kind of say, but I'm with you that this feels like something. Like Ronda Rousey doesn't really like just say stuff to say stuff. There tends to be a motivation. And
are you with me? It feels like something, and also never saw this coming. I never thought that she would ever even flirt or entertain the idea of fighting again.
Never saw this coming?
Never saw it coming.
Don't know if I feel like it's something.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's something. Let's see. By the way, speaking of the White House card, Conor McGregor was at the Bare Knuckle show in Manchester. And earlier in the week, last week that is, the boys talked about this, him putting out the tweet that he wanted $100 million to fight on the card, including the 100 U.S., quote, golden visas for himself and his family and friends. So he wants $100 million. And then he was asked about this at the Bare Knuckle show. Here's what he had to say.
Yes, let's go.
Donald agreed to the terms for the White House card.
I'm not negotiating with the UFC on behalf of myself for this fight, like usual. I'm negotiating with the United States of America on behalf of Ireland for this fight. So it's a peculiar one. But Trump and the administration have been fully supportive and backing, and I cannot wait
Should John
to
Jones
put
be
on
on
the
that
show.
card?
Yeah.
What do you think of Canelo Crawford?
Okay, so that's fascinating. He's saying that he is negotiating with the United States government. Now, who is actually going to pay him in the end? You know what I mean? Like if Trump says, yes, I think you should get $100 million to fight on this card, who's actually cutting that check? This is fascinating stuff. What a journey it's going to be to get to this card in June of 2026. $100 million seems like a little bit outside of the UFC's typical, I don't know. Actually, you know what? With the new TV deal and the double, rights fee raise, maybe everyone is going to be making that kind of money.
I don't know about everybody, but I think Conor McGregor can command it.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Trump and his team are going to say, we want these people on this card?
Yes.
Yeah, so do I.
Yep. It's a
which is why
a representation for the U.S.
Right.
Which is why I keep going back on the don't they want Americans to go over? I don't we keep having these fantasy cards, but I do feel like there has to be an indication.
I don't think they care about the result. I think they just care
don't
about
think so?
who's on the card.
I think they want and all the Americans just get dusted. I don't think that goes over hot.
Chandler, McGregor, this is Canada.
Let's say Chandler
US
loses
versus Ireland, and it's the biggest star in the history of the sport. At that point, you can't worry about that stuff. I just think they want to have the big. When Donald Trump was the owner of the Trump Taj Mahal and all this stuff, he wanted the biggest fights. This is his version of a fight card in 1988. You know what I mean?
No,
This is his chance to bring a big show to his home.
It's perfectly
This is what happens to be the
logical
White
and
House.
reasonable. It's the same thing that Turkey does with all the boxing fights. Like, I want the biggest names to compete. It makes all the sense in the world. I would expect nothing. If he didn't care about what was on the card, I'd be shocked. That would be a bizarro world.
What else, Frankie? What else?
So glad you asked. Loved the mix-up last week with Ariel and the Crack combined show, and another in-studio guest and Boys in the Back. Great work, guys.
Yeah, you know what? I think everyone did a great job. Ariel and the Crack. I mean, that was MMA Beat, and those are the three I would say most prominent. Oh yeah, I mean we could get Shaheen in there, although he's the EIC. He's way too busy to be partaking in things like that. Drake is out there as well, but I want to do with boxing and with wrestling as well. Crack has their thing, and it's great. I'm not trying to take away from that, but we were looking for things to do during my hiatus, so that's a fun one. Obviously, the classic interview look back series is a fun one as well. But you guys really did a great job. How did you feel doing 2 shows in a week? Were you guys exhausted afterwards? How was that?
Well, we got the break from Monday to Thursday, so
Yeah.
it wasn't too much. It was fun, though. I mean, Al Iaquinta carried us on Monday.
Oh, my God.
so-
The shirts, that was a great reveal.
Oh, yeah.
Al showed up looking like a real estate agent.
He looked unbelievable.
Yeah, he looked
you kidding me?
He
blew
sold
us
a
out
few
of the water.
houses on the way out.
Yeah,
Wow.
we had these like cheaply made shirts. I actually had double custom shirts last week. I made the Iaquinta real estate shirts.
Yes. He was wondering. He was like, wait a second. Did I give you that? Where did you get that?
No, we had them made.
Yeah. You know a guy.
Yeah, I got a plug.
And then of course you had the Tahuna shirt.
Yep. Also came from the plug.
James Tahuna?
That was a great one. Like that was like those ones that I see now at Hot Topic with the big,
Yeah.
Frequent Hot Topic?
I'm a fan,
Hot Topic Spencer's Gifts.
Okay. I'm not sure about Spencer's Gifts. I just know Hot Topic.
Hot Topic's
Hot Topic.
Spencer's
Gap,
Gifts
but
in
with
the
black
north?
clothing.
Yeah, we had Spencer's.
Did we?
We had Spencer's, yeah, for sure.
Claire's.
Nice.
That's
More
a different
icing
category.
My daughter likes
I
Claire's.
was going to say, that's where your daughter goes to get her ears pierced.
Is that actually her franchise? Or
She just likes it because it's her name. But anyway, yes. So everyone did great. It was really nice, and the train rolls along. I felt like I was on the outside, but it was Rosh Hashanah.
You did great from the old MTL.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. You mean when I was working the card?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
All
great.
week, all the festivities.
All the festivities, Rosh Hashanah, it's a big time. Happy New Year. I got to go to the new mall in Montreal, which is the talk of the town, the Royal Mount Mall, which I highly recommend, by the way. Got to see some family.
Did you
got
get
to
a Hot
see some
Topic there?
friends. I did not. They did not have one. It's not
How
really
was
a
the brisket, man?
How was the brisket? I didn't have any brisket.
You guys don't do brisket on Rosh Hashanah?
No. You do?
Yeah, it's the best thing. It's
Oh,
probably
wow.
the best thing we have.
he brought some in for all of us.
We do very sort of Middle Eastern traditional. Well, it's actually interesting because on my side it's very Middle Eastern, then on my wife's side it's very sort of Eastern European, gefilte fishy, that type of stuff. Let's just say between you and I,
We're not doing the gefilte.
Yeah,
Couldn't pay me.
Have you ever had gefilte fish?
I've looked at it.
I've never had it.
Matzo ball soup, yes. Matzo ball soup is
Down for the matzo.
Is it like pickled herring?
No, it's actually nothing like pickled herring. I don't even think I've ever had pickled herring. But anyway, it was you know what actually was the highlight of the weekend, if I may. I was able to give a few very old classmates of mine, like elementary school classmates, tickets to the fight on Saturday, and so my friends being at the fight and I'm seeing them, and then we got to hang out afterwards. I mean, I felt like it was the old days. It was really nice. So I really enjoyed that. It warmed my heart, and I don't know when I'll ever get to hang out with those guys again, and when was the last time I got to hang out with them. So they had a great time at the fights, and then we hung out after the fights as well because the card ended at like 10:30. It was wonderful. It was really
Anything
great.
for old Dahlia? Like
No Dahlia.
like a
no. So actually,
coming together.
Some of them know Dahlia actually quite well.
That would have been a
but,
moment
she was
right
not. No, she was not there. No, not a big boxing fan. If we're being. What else, Frankie? What else?
We need Ariel versus GC in Long Island. Luke's prop quiz. Ariel's OG knowledge versus GC's recent history knowledge.
We need Ariel versus GC in Long Island's Luke prop quiz. What is that?
He hosts like a YouTube show.
Oh.
Where he pits people against each other and
But like
It's
how
almost like a Jeopardy style thing.
So if my forte is old school and your forte is new school, how could we compete against each other? Because we aren't well versed in the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's like a Jeopardy style. So you'd have like the categories.
Oh,
so it'd be
that's
like
fun.
New school, old school.
So like who headlined UFC 112, and then it'll be like who headlined UFC 312.
Exactly.
Or maybe the answer is like Anderson Silva versus Damian Maia, and then I would say who headlined UFC 112.
Yeah.
And then
I've seen this guy. This is good. This guy's pretty good.
You're the one who showed him to me.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't realize his name was Long Island Luke. I mean, a little bit of gimmick infringement, obviously. This guy's pretty good, though. I like
312.
312 was DDP Strickland earlier this year. Yeah.
It's crazy.
In Australia?
I can't even tell you 318.
318 was Poirier, Holloway.
319?
Hamzat. DDP.
Yes, it's amazing. It's literally like talking to myself.
the
15
last
years ago.
event.
All the
It's
way
amazing.
back to 266.
That's when it starts.
That's
And you know what's
literally when
crazy?
it starts.
You know what's For me, it starts at 66.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
I think I could do 265 because that's when I was like in the interview process. I was like,
Sure.
I really need to watch that. That was Cyril Gane versus Derek Lewis.
No, but
The interim. Yes. That was a shite.
this guy does like Jeopardy, and
Yeah.
it's very good. He tailors it to the guest, so it's actually give this guy props.
Okay.
What's
Shout out to
it's
Luke.
the name of the channel is Main Card
Keep my
Minute.
fucking name out
He
your
does-
mouth.
He does.
Oh wait,
he does
main
good
card
stuff.
minute. Is it combat sports related?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
he'll have like
Oh,
Brian Campbell and what's the recent one?
Mike Heck did one against
Yeah,
Ed Michaud.
exactly.
okay. Shout out to him.
And then
Yeah,
he'll
shout out.
tailor the categories to also like the MMA people.
I thought this was like a Hot Ones.
No.
Like me and GC showing up on
Nah,
some
nah.
YouTube channel.
It's Jeopardy.
PD.
Jeopardy.
It's combat sports
But
related.
Okay.
He's a
that's
good
fine.
host. He
Good
does
for
well.
him. I
Shout
like
out-
that.
Shout out to him.
I like seeing people
Other
do
than
different
stealing,
things.
the gimmick. Obviously.
And who's gimmick?
I mean, I'm New York.
New York
trying
Rick,
to be
Long
Island
like,
Luke.
come on,
You
obviously.
think that's what he was doing?
I mean,
Absolutely.
No.
Wow.
It's
I mean,
been
would
brought
I
up by
not
the
be
chat
stealing as
before.
well? Mine is George.
Oh, yours is
Connery.
definitely stealing because he just gave it to you
Yeah,
because that was all he could think of at the moment.
No.
Did he even give it to where it didn't Jedi Goodman say?
No.
George
That was
Connery.
100%
This
me.
is definitely
It was
Ariel.
me because of New York Rick and also because
Yes.
GCDC.
Because of New York Rick, obviously.
And GCDC.
Nothing was more clear how much Ariel was missing Rick than the beginning when GC came. He's like,
And I was like,
you're gonna
oh,
be
this guy.
George O'Connor.
Yeah. Oh, he's from Georgia.
Literally, we
GC.
played New York Rick's original music segment just so you could hear it again.
The love was felt. The love was felt.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Those are some good days. August of 2021. Okay, what else, Frankie? What else?
Lastly, Sleeto paid $2 to ask, will Frank bring shrimp cocktail to the premiere?
Oh, good question.
The answer is no. Eric will be providing soup dumplings.
Okay, can't wait.
By
yeah, that's
Frank's
coming up.
demand.
I must have soup. You ordering those or what?
He's ordering them. He's
The
taking care of
orders are not coming in as fast as we'd like, so maybe they'll have to come halfway through the
them.
there
You
might
got
be,
the two that
you
you need to care about.
Frank has actually been very forceful. He's forced me to put a housewarming on the books.
Yep.
For
Everybody's-
yourself.
Everybody's invited. Yeah, for myself. For everyone.
Frank demanding celebrations is becoming
Next
a real
Friday,
issue.
October 10th, everyone's invited.
Wow, this is how I'm getting the invitation.
Yeah, through the show.
You're welcome.
Now we have a paper trail for when you try to say that there was.
What do you mean? You can't just drop an invitation in the middle of a show that's
He just
happening.
did.
We should have had
October
Andy
10th?
reach
I'm
out because then
actually-
it would have ensured that he didn't take it seriously
booked
and didn't
solid.
show up.
Yeah, I'm booked.
My favorite part is I was like, when are you doing your actual housewarming party? And the conversation went, I
Why
don't
does he
think it's
need-
going to happen.
Yeah, why does he
and
need a
then
housewarming?
now we have a date.
Yeah, when did you come up with the date? And did you not check and see if it works for all of us? Seems a little selfish.
I have my calendar.
Here
out,
come the
actually.
excuses already.
No, it's okay.
Can't go.
It's okay.
I do have some other things that we need to discuss. Shout out to Yuri Prochaska. Some video has emerged of his graduation. What a time it is for Yuri. Look at this. Does it get any more wholesome than this? Yuri with his family. Promise.
Hair looks great.
Hair looks fantastic. Do you think this is old footage, or do you think he's going to show up with this kind of hair?
I hope not. There needs to be some sort of craziness to it.
Look at this guy. He's the best. Who's better than this guy?
No.
So congratulations to Yuri Prochaska. Did want to say congratulations to the great Melvin Gillard, who announced his retirement. Did you guys know that Melvin Gillard had an 11-year losing streak?
I did know that, yes.
And he snapped it recently with a win over Terry Wiggins, a 27-second win. back on September 20th, so 9 days ago. And then he announced his retirement with a record of 33, 24, 2 and 2 no contests. Actually, it says 3 there, but I'm seeing 2.
I saw 3. I guess I'll trust you.
No, you're right. You know what's weird? I'm looking at his Wikipedia page. He lost to Isaac Moreno on July 18th, 2025. It says 3 no contests. Then the next one says 2 no contests.
It's almost like you should use this website called Tapology.
I don't know. It came up. You know me, big Tapology guy. His last UFC fight. Let's see. His last UFC fight. He left the UFC, came back, had a long run. His last UFC fight was March 8th, 2014. He lost to Michael Johnson on the Gustafsson Manawa card in London. Then he went to World Series. Then he went to Bellator. Then he went to Australian FC. Actually, before that, he went to Kunlun Fight MMA in Yantai, China. And at this point, we're in the losing streak, by the way, started when he lost to Justin Gaethje in November of 2014. Then he went to Yantai, like I said, Kunlun in Yantai. Australian FC, Sparta Combat League, Ryzen, United Combat League, Ohio Combat League, Fury FC, and then Raging FC. I think he had so he had a 6-year break between 2019 and 2025. So it's really not that, it's almost unfair to say 11 years. But anyway, Melvin Gillard, great character. Made his debut 2002. 23 years. I want to talk about this Terrence Crawford story that emerged. Terrence Crawford had a big celebration back home in Omaha, had his birthday, and then we find out yesterday had a run-in with the law, and a video has emerged here. We have sound on this?
Opening the door. You can take mine off of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up. I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Step out. Can I move my phone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you can hear his voice. According to reports, he was held at gunpoint by Omaha police. It was his birthday, as you can see. It was at approximately 1:30 a.m. local time. This was after a huge celebration in Omaha for his birthday and, of course, for everything that he's accomplished as of late. He was pulled over in his vehicle by Omaha police. He was with 3 other occupants. That's just a short video clearly shot by someone who was in the car with him. You can hear his voice. You can see him exiting the car there. The Omaha Police Department said in a statement that it pulled over Crawford's vehicle for alleged reckless driving. The statement alleged that police observed, and this is from Darshan's report over at uncrown.com, by the way. Police observed a firearm in the car while speaking with Crawford and confirmed, quote, all 4 occupants were ordered out of the vehicle at gunpoint. A firearm was found on an occupant of the vehicle who was a member of Crawford's security team. The officers determined that everyone in the vehicle was legally allowed to carry a firearm. Crawford was cited for reckless driving. Omaha Mayor John Ewing Jr. said in a statement that, quote, his heart dropped in learning of this end to an otherwise wonderful day and evening celebrating our city's world boxing champion. There you see the statement. He says, we must ensure that every resident, no matter who they are, feels safe and respected in Omaha. Omaha needs to remember this important day as a good one while we seek answers to how it ended. So a very, very unfortunate situation. Let's see what comes of it. Omaha Police Department on Sunday reiterated Ewing's statement that the department has, quote, authorized an internal affairs investigation into the incident. Craziness. So let's see how that plays out. We also got information from the new CEO of the Professional Fighters League, John Martin, who is making all kinds of changes. He announced 2 title fights on a December card in Lyon, France, which is one of the great crowds that we saw last year in WWE. They had a show in May of 2024. Vadim Nemkov defending his... actually, is he defending? No, I don't think he's defending. I think it's just Vadim Nemkov versus Renan Ferreira for the heavyweight title. And then it's Chris Cyborg against Sarah Collins for the featherweight title. They're starting to crown champions now. John Martin posted a statement, did some interviews, getting out there, speaking to the MMA fans. He posted this on social media regarding how he's trying to make things a little easier on the PFL fans out there.
Hey everybody, I'm John Martin, CEO of the Professional Fighters League. Breaking news. We're going to be coming to Lyon December 13th with 2 championship matches. First, Nemkov versus Ferreira for the heavyweight world championship. And also happy to announce the co-main is going to be icon Chris Cyborg fighting undefeated Australian-born Sarah Collins. Hope to see you there.
Yes. He posted a statement kind of like discussing, do we have this thing where he posted like a breakdown? Yes, here it is. Historically, the PFL crowned champions through its seasons or tournament format where the winner held the title for that year. I recognize this created some confusion about who truly sat atop each division. That confusion grew when the PFL and Bellator merged, bringing in not only tournament champions, but also legacy Bellator champions who defended their belts, leaving fans unclear on who was the definitive champion in each weight class. We are now simplifying our champion system or championship system. Going forward, each division will have one PFL world champion, the single undisputed title holder in that weight class. You saw this recently when Costel Vanstinas scored a last-second win over Johnny Eblen to become the PFL middleweight world champion. Next up, Usman Nurmagomedov versus Paul Hughes. That's for the PFL lightweight title. Corey Anderson versus Dovlet Yakshumiradov for the PFL light heavyweight championship. Vadim Nemkov versus Renan Ferreira for the PFL heavyweight championship. Cyborg versus Collins for the women's featherweight title. Wow. I also know that there's been some confusion around unique distinctions in the past, like the super fight title won by Francis Ngannou. That was a special one-time designation. Going forward, those belts may be used only for occasional special events, and importantly, I will be engaging directly with Francis to determine what's next for him at the PFL. My goal is clear: one champion, one division, one world title, a system that is simple for athletes to chase and for PFL fans to follow. Has actual sanity come to the PFL? Common sense? That's how you run a promotion. I don't know much about John Martin. I don't know about his fighting background. I don't know if someone is guiding him, but whoever it is, whoever is responsible for this, thank you. This is all we've been asking for. Common sense. One champion, a champion atop a division, none of this super fight nonsense, none of this league nonsense, none of this tournament nonsense. You want to determine number one contenders via a tournament? Great. That person's not a champion. You want to have PFL Europe, this, great. Those are mini tournament, but there should be a king or queen at the top of each division. It's not that hard. And so this is a breath of fresh air. Even when I saw them announce Vadim versus Renan Ferreira, obviously the best fight to make at heavyweight is Vadim versus Francis. But I was like, well, I saw people say, what about Francis? What about his belt? That belt wasn't a real belt. That was just like a super fight belt. I don't know. I don't even know what that was. And everyone knew that. Come on, stop it. No one considered Francis the heavyweight champion of PFL. He should have been. That fight should have been for the PFL heavyweight title, but they were getting too cutesy-putesy with all these stupid tournaments and events and titles. Thank you for this. Thank you, Mr. John Martin. And so I look forward to a lightweight champion being crowned and a light heavyweight champion being crowned. And it's great that Costello is the middleweight champion. And then you got two titles. Thank you. This is how a promotion should be run. I was very excited to read this. Tired of all this stuff. He did a couple of interviews. There was one quote. Yeah, there it is. Via an interview with MMA Junkie. I think we've been asking the fans a lot to keep track of all the various formats. I'm interested in putting on the best fights we can for as many people as we can. Wow! Sometimes simpler can be better. Wow! I'm going to be looking for how Do we hit that sweet spot and optimize? I think there could be some changes coming up. Wow! One more time, Frankie. Wow!
It's a good wow.
That is a breath of fresh air. I feel like I just drank like a tall glass of shut the hell up. I'll give you a tall glass of shut the hell up.
You're in my world now, Grandma.
Yeah. Anyway, this is great. I'm very excited about this. Shout out to Gable Steveson. Who would have thought after his LFA/MMA debut, his next fight would be in Dirty Boxing? He's fighting on their October, 30th show, a Thursday in Nashville against Cub Swanson's cousin.
Seriously?
No, I'm kidding.
The poster is great because it looks like just a singular name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gable versus Swanson.
Yeah.
SummerSlam 2026.
Hell yeah. Kind of looks like Roy Nelson.
Roy Nelson's cousin.
Yeah. Small
named Cub Swanson.
Small country is his name. We don't know what's happening with Arman Sarukian, guys. We know he beat Benson Henderson in a grappling match. I think he'll fight again this year, but we don't know if it's for the belt. If not, I think it's going to be Paddy versus Ilya, but let's see. All to say, if we just keep getting Arman Sarukian eating videos, I think we'll all be very happy. Here he is eating a massive croissant.
Yeah, just feed me these, no pun intended.
Why are we so captivated by this? Why is this so good?
Because they're so ridiculous. I mean, first of all, this is just a giant croissant, but like the other ones, he's like stuffing his face with like a pound of caviar. And then like the Dave's Hot Chicken, he has like 80 meals in front of him. And he's
Who comes up with
housing
this?
it.
And look at that cup of coffee.
Why is it a thing? Why is it a bit?
Yeah, I don't know, but why is
Maybe
it
he
so
got
good?
really small.
Like he went from like about to fight for a title in January, and now he's had 17 grappling matches and food video drop every week since.
I really enjoy it.
I genuinely do enjoy it. Anytime I see an Armin food video, I get hyped.
My question though is like, how do we get to the point where we realize that we enjoy this? And how did his team come to this conclusion?
I don't know, man.
And by the way, how do you get a croissant that big?
I don't know. You're Armin Sarukian. You can do anything.
That's true. So let's see what happens with him. But hopefully we get some news soon. Kaya Sakura is moving up to 135. You guys like this? I think it's the right move. You lost 2 fights. You lost to the champ. Maybe a new division, fresh coat of paint on the career. We'll do the career good. I'm down.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. No, I think so.
Okay, that's good analysis.
Frank just screamed something
What's
back
wrong?
here, and the mic was on.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
I don't know. He was asking Jordan if he was okay, but he was screaming that. No, I like
Is
that.
Jordan okay?
I'm not sure.
Oh my God, Jordan!
Oh, you actually scared me.
Better than last Monday.
Okay. What happened last Monday, by the way?
A little BGJ, a little bubble guts.
Oh,
it's tough.
What was that?
A little bubble BGJ.
BGJ Bubble Guts Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on the John.
Yeah.
0-2 at flyweight. Let's go ahead and knock up to 135.
Can I ask you guys something? Why do you when I was in what's so funny?
Just the transition here. It's just,
I've also pulled up another the last Armin Sarukian video before this, and it's him sitting in a red leather Rolls Royce with, it appears, 15 to 20 double doubles from In-N-Out with 18 sides of fries, and he's just going in on them. There's always so much with him.
I do love how simple a formula this is, but he has realized this is working.
Yeah, I mean, 426,000
There's something about the
likes.
calmness, the hair, the
hair is perfect.
Yes.
The ridiculously of the settings, the amount, obviously.
It's like a mukbang.
He's got something.
I just want to know how they reach the conclusion of wow, we've got something here. How they got to this. When we were on our hiatus during the summer, the Raja Jackson story was the biggest thing, right? Like you couldn't go anywhere on the internet and not see someone win.
Ariel, you have to talk about Raja Jackson.
Actually scared
you
the
must.
shit out of me
Sorry.
there. Okay.
Yes, that was
you
the sentiment.
Tweets, videos. Why has the aftermath, his arrest, and whatever came of that been a complete non-story? Like, if by the way in which it was covered, you would have thought this was like the OJ trial all over again. Why does
what
no one care?
What details do we have?
I don't know, but no one cares. I don't see anyone talking about it. In fact, I didn't see anyone talk about the arrest. Yeah, it got picked up here and there, but the level of coverage and discourse surrounding the incident versus everything else, to me, has been fascinating. And so
I agree with you, but I also feel like we are not getting answers, right? Like there is no, what more is there to react to?
Disappeared. I don't know. Why did it take so long?
Who is going to answer that question?
I don't know. Everyone was weighing in on this one incident. The thing is, like, when it happened, I obviously was shocked by it, and I knew it was Rampage's son, but I was like, wow, like, we're getting like hour-long breakdown videos from the MMA community, from the wrestling community. This is going to be a big freaking deal. Like, this has blown up. So I thought, when something blows up, it remains on fire, from a coverage standpoint. Have you guys not noticed that no one talks about it now?
I noticed, but again, I point to what would they be talking about at this moment? There is no update. There is no legal proceeding. There is nothing. Like, there's nothing to kind of
Where
talk
is he?
about.
Where's the guy?
I don't know the answer.
I would imagine he had to have bailed out.
I'm sure he, got bond.
You would think, given the interest, that someone would have looked into this. No?
What?
Some outlet is like, okay, here's Raja. This is what he's doing.
If anything, the local news would have had it, right? But it seems like there's their mum on it. I don't think there's anything to discuss yet.
There's no salacious video that goes along with it. There's no real drama. It's just he got arrested, $50,000 bond, and that's pretty much all we have.
All right. I just thought it was interesting. I mean, it was gigantic.
No, it was massive.
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he wasn't arrested yet and the video that accompanied it.
I'm more surprised at how massive it became than I am that there's nothing happening now. Because
I have a hot take.
I don't
on
know.
this?
Yes, go ahead.
It was because there was no response and these things. Like,
Yeah.
people get all fired up about that, and then once it happens, it's like, all right, well, there's no there now.
Plus, the internet just moves so fast that by the time he got arrested, it was a whole month later. No one cared anymore.
Okay, so you think, Frank, that the outrage and the coverage was because nothing happened, and once something happened, everyone just moved on to the next thing?
It does seem like that's what happens a lot.
Yeah,
Like when
I can see
news is
that.
coming on, there's less detail. Everyone's, what's this? What's going on? Who's that? And then when
I
the
can see
detail
that.
trickles in, it's crickets.
Yep. Okay. Everyone loves a conspiracy, right? They're like, oh, what's going on here? Why isn't this happening? Because he's famous.
I think it
Dad's
makes for a
famous.
more sensational TikTok than the, he's been, justice has been served, or someone's going to have their day in trial. Like, that doesn't pop quite as much as, why is no one talking about this?
Yep. Okay. Fascinating. But I think you're onto something there. Are we onto something with Jake Paul versus Alexander Usyk? Do you think this happens in 2026, guys?
No.
No? True or false? False.
I think we more likely get Jake versus Joshua than we get Usyk.
Yeah, I could see that. Here's Usyk weighing in.
Also because Usyk is proposing MMA, and I just don't think there's any chance.
It is fascinating, though, that you have these massive names who all want to fight him. Do you think it's because of the payday or because they think it's an easy payday?
Both.
Yeah.
Easy payday and a massive payday. When you're at the level that Usyk is, like, what else is there?
But in
to
MMA,
accomplish?
he's
yeah, that's a bizarre one. I don't know how to explain that.
It's what are you more interested?
He worked
in?
on the smashing machine and got inspired. I don't know what
are you
else.
more
to point-
interested in? Usyk, Jake in MMA, or Joshua, Jake in boxing?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Usyk, Jake in MMA.
I think I'd go Joshua, Jake in boxing.
Yeah, because they both don't know MMA. At least
That's what makes it fascinating.
Yeah.
Jake Paul doing MMA period would be very fascinating to me.
Usyk
By the way,
doing
Usyk doing
Yeah.
MMA. Period.
Yes.
In the smart cage?
Yeah.
But less so.
Yeah. Hey.
The Jake doing MMA is more interesting.
What's the co-main? Terrence Crawford with his wrestling pedigree
Versus Ilya?
Versus Ilya. That's
Yeah.
right. Oh yeah.
So, but how is this getting done though? PFL, UFC.
That's
GoPro?
finally the UFC, PFL.
The Saudis
merger.
bring them all together. Who knows? Ain't happening.
No.
Yeah, the Saudis bring them all together. Brought to you by EA.
Did you? Oh gosh.
The video game.
Did you guys
for it?
Did you guys see the Tank Davis Shakur Stevenson tweets on Saturday?
Yes.
They were going back and forth. Like there were a lot of them
For as long as they were there until.
And then Tank deleted his Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't just delete the tweets. Got to delete the whole tweet.
Is Tank Davis Jake Paul going to happen on November 14th?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think so?
Too much money at
It's
stake.
a bit huge payday.
He does have a sort of like at times apathetic.
At times.
Yeah.
But he
like
had
the
that heading
entirety of
into
it.
the Roach fight too. Like it's just where
Then he said he's going to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saw that? He said he's done after this fight.
I believe him.
You believe him?
I believe he's done until another opportunity. I think in his head he thinks he's done.
You think so?
Yes.
Jake Paul can retire Tank Davis?
Yes.
Imagine saying that statement 4 years ago.
El Pico Gallo
Yeah.
hires Tank.
El Pico de Gallo.
Oh my dear. Crazy times. Well, I don't know what to make of it because I was just looking at his body language and everything, and it was interesting. And then I saw the back and forth with Shakur, and it seems like he gets very upset when people bring up Shakur and Lamont Roach and all these guys, and then all of a sudden he deletes his Twitter.
My position is basically based on the fact that if you're Tank Davis, why announce it at all? Why get into this at all unless you were going to see it all the way through? Now, do I think a good version of him shows up? I don't know. That I have some questions about. But do I think he will be there? Yes, absolutely. I mean, you sign up, he showed up to the press conferences, you get your bag, and then you get out of the sport maybe.
He's only 30. I feel confident this will not be his last fight.
He'll be back. I mean, just look at Vanderlei. Here's the question. This is being compared to David versus Goliath, sort of?
By the people promoting it.
Yes,
by nobody else.
I want to ask this question. Who's David, who's Goliath?
Neither. There is no David and Goliath story.
There's a balancing act with the massive size difference.
Because you could actually make the case that Tank is Goliath.
Not with his size.
From a skill standpoint.
From a skill standpoint. Sure, but from the size.
The talent gap is that much bigger, right? I mean, like.
Of course, yeah.
Yes. What about the size gap?
Much better boxer.
The size gap is also that much bigger.
I'm workshopping my opening intro for the broadcast. You know, a lot
Your
of people
opening intro is going to be Tank Davis as
time.
Goliath in this scenario?
Are you doing the opening intro? Confirmed.
Well, I'm working the broadcast, yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going to say, you know, a lot of people have been comparing this fight to David versus Goliath, but can I offer you this? Perhaps.
I would suggest not.
A matchup of biblical proportions. You are looking live at Casella Center, Miami.
Tank is actually Goliath here, and Jake is David.
I think we need to go in the lab on
notable for how skillful he was.
I was just workshopping.
Hopefully that
this
was just penciled and not penned.
I was just
go ahead and erase that one from
all
the
right.
idea book.
I actually was pretty excited about it.
I think you do kick it off with a matchup of biblical proportions.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not doing the intro. I think that's.
I thought it was going to be like this sweeping drone view.
No, and then it's
you
me.
are looking live
at the Casella Center, where right now Jake Paul is. Who is the favorite going to that fight? And can you?
Tank. Jake's up to what was it, like plus 160 or something at this point?
Yeah.
Which I will be taking to the bank.
Rick's lock of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm all over.
I remember the last time you had a lock of the year with Jake Paul. Anderson Silva, right?
No, because
the last one was
Mike Tyson.
Last one was the Mike Tyson one. We all went heavy on Jake Paul in that.
Okay.
Free money.
Didn't you say that he was gonna? No, that Anderson was gonna start him.
We all bet Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
I bet Anderson Silva at like plus 110, and he closed at like plus 400.
Oh my god!
One of the worst bets I've ever made, and then it lost either way.
That almost makes it better though, because it's like you didn't miss out on plus 400 because you got beat. But yes, I'm quite certain that Jake is going to win this fight. From the face-off, I can't fathom a world where Tank is able to close the distance on him.
What if he just hits him with a gnarly body shot?
How is he going to hit him? This is my question. Everybody talks about this.
Move.
He's 6 feet away from him. He's not going to be able to hit him. He's going to have to climb. He's going to have to get out a step stool, jump onto it, and then punch Jake in the face.
And that's why
only
they
a couple
put on the
inches,
fights. It's not that much.
Look at him. Look at that picture.
Honestly, if you have to continue to ask who is David and who is Goliath, it means neither of them are.
No.
Exactly.
It means it's that good.
There is no David and Goliath.
I'm going to take on David, and then I'm going to go fight Goliath.
That was an okay line, by the way. That was all right.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good line. Yeah. Meaning Joshua, right?
Yeah. Tank too, Joshua.
Yeah. By the way, calling Tank David is crazy, right? I mean,
right. It's Tank Davis.
Right. We have a premiere to watch, or not really a premiere, but a movie to watch. We're gonna pretend like it's a premiere.
Hell yeah, okay? We got a red carpet.
We're gonna do a red carpet. We're gonna have paparazzi.
Frank
TMZ's
demanded that.
Emily Blunt's not gonna be here.
What are you guys wearing?
I'll be wearing a sweater.
I brought. We all know the one and only time that I've been to a movie premiere, I really got dressed up. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
What was it, the Izzy movie?
No,
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
I forgot about that. You wore the.
I was wearing jeans.
You wore the floral hoodie and jeans.
Yes. Everyone was like,
me and Frank were dressed nice as well.
Yeah, that was a good time.
That was good.
C-Mac in the house. All right. Thank you very much to everyone. Appreciate you all very much. Good to be back. Big show tomorrow. Who's on tomorrow? I told you Mateus Gamrot's on tomorrow. Benny Safdie's on tomorrow. Tom Nolan's on tomorrow. A couple others as well. Wednesday could be a potentially big one. I'm just going to put it like that. Wednesday could be a potential massive one, but still TB dizzle. You know what I learned? I did the dizzle thing with my kids. They didn't think it was very cool. Like, it's not a thing with kids. You remember when there was like a foshizzle, dizzle, manizzle, that whole thing?
Yeah, like 22 years ago.
Yeah. They're not so into it.
Yeah.
They actually didn't even know about it.
Probably for the best, you know.
Really?
Let sleeping dogs lie, you know.
I thought it was a thing that, I mean, it was Snoop Dogg. Wasn't it Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg to them is like Martha Stewart.
Well, I would say things with an izzle on the back of it, and they're like, what is that? It's like, oh, I guess you guys weren't exposed to this. Foshizzle. No? All right. Anyway, today was a great day. Thank you very much to everyone who stopped by. Thank you very much to all our guests. Demetrious Johnson, go check out his YouTube channel. Great guy. Met him. Great video with Merab, and it's just fascinating to watch a legend like him roll with Merab Dvalishvili. Thank you very much to Diego Lopes. Looking forward to seeing what's next to him. And of course, much love and speedy recovery. Continued speedy recovery, I should say, for one Ben Askren. Thank you very much to him as well. Thanks to them. Thanks to you. Back on Tuesday. Same time. This is a piece of